I swear to God, for some reason, it's only like in the TFLO sphere and manosphere that like we all have streaming issues, man. Like, I have no fucking.
I've never. This is actually the first time I've ever had this fucking happen.
Okay.
So I don't know. It seems okay now. It's just I don't know, like it, because I have my laptop hardwired, and I use my Wi-Fi for my phone, and like I've never had a problem with Wi-Fi, like because the internet was clearly still working because I had it hardwired, because it wasn't working on my laptop or my phone. So the Wi-Fi when I tried it, so I don't know. It could be just a fucking program thing, a little glitch, I don't know. Hopefully it's okay.
All right, well, I don't think the viewers care about that too much, man. Well, it says I only have one viewer right now, so, but anyway, man, let's talk about this government shit, man.
What about it?
I don't know, man. Doesn't it piss you off?
Are you live? Because it's not saying you're live right now. I'm not seeing it.
Really? Okay, it does...
Here it is. I got it. All right, I got it. I think, yeah, let me see if it works. Yeah. All right. Load in.
I don't know. It says I'm live, so I better be live, man.
Yeah, it says you're live.
Okay,
yeah, it says you're live, and I'm trying to... Don't worry, it could be my fucking internet. Since it's loaded in, I'm just making sure that...
All right. Yo,
we're good.
Cool. We got Drunk Hulk in the chat. Hey, let us know if you want to join Drunk Hulk, man, from Toronto. We got Matt Haggerty, and I just checked out some of his videos today, and they're pretty intense, man. Tell us about that, man. What inspired you to make these random ass videos? I saw you drifting in your Nissan.
You talking about the other video from the other channel?
No, your most recent video, where you're driving around in a mask. And no, that was scaring kids during Halloween.
Yeah, I wasn't drifting. In that.
No, but in your most recent video, you're drifting in some kind of car.
That was just like a part of like a home movie. Didn't you get the title?
Okay.
Home Movies from Hell. That was just like home movies that I had of shit that I, recorded just on my phone. Like, just personal videos and shit.
Okay.
So yeah, that was me just at a car group, or the one was at a meetup, like a car meetup, and the other one was just me in a parking lot when it was snowing. But yeah, that's kind of what I do for fun, bro.
Okay, so you just
fucking around in sports cars.
All right, man, that's pretty cool.
That shit's...
And what car were you driving again?
What?
What car were you driving?
And that is Scion FRS.
That's pretty dope, man. I wish I knew some people around here that did that.
You got your Chrysler rear-wheel drive, bro?
Yeah, it's a piece of shit, though, man, because, it's American-made. I mean, I wish I had I mean, American cars are nice. I mean, they definitely look cool, but they're not the best. I mean, although Chrysler did build that car together with Mercedes, so, it's...
Yeah, I know. It's on a Mercedes, like, E-Class.
It's like an E-Class with a Hemi engine, basically. So, okay, let's see. Oh, King Espeo is here. Oh, is that a troll? Let's see.
Might be.
I think that's a troll, man. Let's see if he has a channel.
Get him in if it's a troll. That'd be fucking get King Espeo on here right now if that's a troll.
I'm pretty sure it's not Espeo because I think he's just getting back.
Tell him to get on Discord.
Okay.
Tell him to get on Discord.
Yeah, that's another problem. I don't know. How do you find out your Discord ID, actually?
I'll tell you yours right now.
Okay.
I had it. I hate Discord, dude. It's a piece of shit. It's so stupid. It's not intuitive at all. It's you suck a dick. Here's Steve from Texas.
Hold on, I got it. All right, guys. Here's my Discord ID for anybody who wants to call in. Or message me.
Call in, bitches!
Message me. Espeo should be coming on shortly. I think he's coming back from his bag boy job.
Yep. He's got to bag up their groceries in COVID, baby, getting the hazard pay right now.
I was walking around Walmart today, and it's so fucking gay, man. Like, there are, like, security guards there, and, like, their sole...
They're rioting, right?
No, they're not rioting. Their sole, like, their job,
No, for the rioting.
No, dude,
They're
I'm
not there for
talking.
the riding.
I'm just talking about like walking around in Walmart. There are fucking security guards there, and like you can only exit through one door, and you can only enter through
Oh
the other
yeah.
door. And there was this lady standing there. It's like, excuse me, sir, you can't exit this way and stuff. And I was just thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, like this lady is probably getting paid, I don't know, $5-6 an hour to fucking stand there and say the same shit over and over and over and over again to people. But I mean, good for her, you know. I mean, I guess she's out there making a living, so
But why are you hating on her making a living, bro?
I don't know. I mean,
She's telling you to get in line, motherfucker. Gestapo's at the door there. That's the Gestapo guard. Just get in fucking line.
pretty much, man. Oh shit, I
Fucking
don't.
Nazi.
I think this guy's a troll, man. I don't think that's Espeo, King Espeo.
No, because he says King Espeo. Yeah, he's making fun of his Espeo. He says King Espeo.
King Espeo. But anyway, man, tell me more about those movies that you make. I was kind of surprised when I checked out your channel and you had like all this creative shit on there. I mean, like, do you have like a case of ADD or ADHD?
Oh my God, you believe that? You believe that's scam, bro? So I have a case of. How do I have a case of ADD when I've made videos that most people probably would never have the attention span to finish and put through, unless there was some other reason for this?
That's a good point, actually.
Question. What is where does the question come from? What is? What do you mean?
I don't know.
I
just was okay. Hold on. Drunk Hulk just sent me a friend request. I gotta add this guy now. Hold on. Pending. Drunk Hulk accepted. I'm gonna add him to the call now. 1 second. How the fuck does this work again? How do you? Okay, here. Add friend.
I don't know, dude. That's gonna wrong, dude.
Okay, I think I did something wrong. Hello?
Hey.
Hey, is this Drunk Hulk?
Yep.
Hey, what's up, bro? Okay, hold on. For some reason now Matt's not in the call. Is he? Are you there, Matt? No. I'm still new to this, man, so I'm kind of figuring out. Crap, I did.
Understandable. I think I listened to a bit of the last stream and my audio was kind of shit, so apologies in advance.
Really? I think your audio is pretty
Yeah.
good, actually.
It might have been the application then, because other people did sound a bit distorted, similarly to me as well. So.
Hold on, man. I'm trying to figure out how to get Matt in this. It says he's in the call. You can see it too on Discord, right? Matt should be in the call, right?
I see direct messages, Matt T from Texas. Yeah, he's in the call is like it's like yellow kind of button.
Right.
So I'm kind of new to the Discord thing, but yeah, it shows him here.
Okay, crap. We got some fucking technical difficulties right now. Hold on. Can I just... Hold on. I'm going to give you a call right back. Just wait. Hold on 1 second, all right?
Yeah.
All right, bye. Okay, guys. Matt, Drunk Hulk, if you guys are listening to this, I'm trying to figure out how to do a fucking group call. Oh, my God. Hey, is this Matt or Espeo?
Yeah. This is Espeo. Hey, you gotta go. Okay, while you're in the chat with everyone, you gotta go to the top where it shows the little person with the plus sign that says "Add friends to DM." So you add friends to DM, and then you can add me, Matt. You can add Drunk Hulk. You add everyone, and then what happens? It'll recall. So the first call has got to be one-on-one. Then you do a recall to everyone with the add friends and DM. Okay.
All right, I'm doing that right now. Are you gonna stay on or?
All right. Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm going to exit out and then go ahead and start chat with them and then call me back once you get in a couple minutes.
All right.
right.
Hello. Okay, so we can... Drunk Hulk, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about Matt? Can you hear me? Okay, Matt exited the group for some reason. I don't know what the hell is going on here, man. Matt...
Yeah, Steve, it was like 15 seconds after you hung up, then Matt showed up, and I heard from him on the old one. But anyways,
Okay.
I
well,
guess we can wait for him.
Hold on, I'm just trying to figure out how this worked. He was just here. Did you see that?
Hello?
Hello? Is this Matt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and
Finally.
Drunk Hulk is here too?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And Espeo should be here too, I think.
No, he's not. Just let him join. He'll figure it out.
All right, yeah. He'll join the call in a bit.
Don't even try to drop any balls.
All right, fuck, man. Look at this, man. Like we're like almost 20 minutes into the stream, and we had nothing but and we had nothing but technical.
Well, there was no one here for the first 20 minutes, dude. Don't worry about it.
All right, cool, man. All right, cool. So, what's going on, guys?
Much you're talking about vehicles. I think before.
Yeah, we were talking about my Chrysler SRT, and Matt was drifting in one of his videos. I don't know, Drunk Hulk. Have you seen Matt's videos? They're pretty crazy.
No, I haven't, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Oh, the ADHD shit. Where did that come from?
I don't know. I was just thinking that, like, most people who have a creative mind like that, who actually have the motivation to make videos like that, I guess you were right. People, and you have to have quite the attention span to be able to make those kind of videos in the first place. So I guess that was a wrong assumption to make. I'm sorry.
I don't really care either way, dude. I'm not offended. I'm just wondering where the assumption came from.
Right.
I'm trying to figure it out.
But what inspired you to make these kind of videos? It seemed pretty creative, man.
I don't know, man. My brain.
Mm-hmm.
I've just I have a very active imagination, like overwhelmingly active. It's been like that my whole life. Like, I love making music, creating music too, and stuff. Just creating, but so like, I don't know. I really love the video shit. Like, I just like. I don't know, man. I like cracking jokes. I like creating jokes. I like making stupid shit. I like making up like characters. Anything creative like that. I just love. You know what I mean? I just have a very overactive imagination. I'm constantly thinking of fantasies in my head and scenarios that are just cool, and you know what I mean.
And you said you're 31 years old?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Why?
Okay. Cool. And
do you not imagine stuff in your head, like fun stuff, like movie type shit or anything, whatever you're into? Right?
Well, right now I'm trying to get into this streaming shit, man. I could see myself, doing the streaming shit. I'm not professionally or anything, but it's definitely like I remember Espeo saying that it gets addictive. That whenever you want to socialize with people, and it's interesting having like a live stream going with the chat and everything. I remember Espeo saying that it gets addictive after a while, but then his channel got deleted. But now he wants to get into it again. So I don't know. I think this is pretty creative too, in a way. It's not like
it is.
An ordinary Joe does this But
no. But I'm just talking creative in the sense of like, you know what I mean? Like imagining a fucking movie, dude, whatever, like an action scene, a car chase, even anything. What goes on in your head with that kind of stuff?
Well, I used to drum. I still make beats on Fruity Loops, but I never had.
No, but I'm asking you, do you ever fantasize in your head about movie scenes that you make up, or scenarios, or I don't know, man. I feel like I'm talking to a wall here.
Shit, well, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think
sounds like you don't.
I don't think my mind works that way.
This is why humans are so fucking different. You know what I mean? Well, this is like how people go, we're all equal. No, dude, we're really not. I'm not, for better or worse. I'm just saying, like, look how much different. Like, when I asked you that question, I'm like, dude, that blows my mind that we don't Like that's the kind of shit that goes through my head all day. All day. You know what I mean? Just like I could create a movie, right? Like in my head. And how it would turn out in real life, I don't know. But that's the kind of shit I'm always thinking about, imagining. You know, just my imagination, like constantly imagining shit. You know what I mean?
No, that's a good thing,
Just
man.
constantly.
That means you're not, one of those typical drone sheeps that, just fucking, like 99% of the people you meet, That's why.
Well, that's where you asked where the videos come from. Where'd that shit come from? It come from the the addiction to my brain having this shit, like trying to get it out of my head. And obviously, if I don't have the budget to go as far as I want to go, or the money and all that shit, but
right.
One of my theories is that the more creative you are, the more of intimidated women are. Like,
oh, dude,
right?
this is exact. Oh my. Well, explain what you mean, drunk and all. Explain what you mean, though. I'll give my 2 cents because I was just thinking about this tonight. Kind of what you're talking about.
I don't have a. It's not really a a fully formulated theory, but I think women generally prefer what's within their comfort zone. Like they're gonna.
100%. Well, men and women do. Period.
Yeah.
That's
like you've heard dashboard. You've heard a lot of dashboards rants by any chance?
Yeah, I've heard. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it kind of fits in with what he's talked about. Like women, they want to be in the proverbial driver's seat of a relationship.
Yeah.
At least the younger, in my experience, the younger ones.
Any female, any age. Yep.
Oh, you think even like 40s and 50s, like
yeah. Oh yeah, dude. It doesn't change because you're talking about something that's like, it's a human nature thing that just never changes, man. But keep going with what you're saying.
Yeah, like to be honest with you, I don't think the average woman my age would give a shit about my art, even though
they won't. No age will. No, I'm just telling you right now.
If I've sold it,
they won't give a shit.
I would be better off having not sold art, having not had any. I'm not saying I'm successful by any means, but I mean I'm not a total loser, right? But I'm saying I would be better off if I was more feminine, shorter, and some fucking tweaker living with a bus station.
Don't say that. Don't say being more feminine necessarily. I don't think Dash is right about that. I don't know. I don't agree with that at all. But the creative stuff is just very out of the ordinary. You're very different. Like I just asked, Steve here. Like, look how much different from. So it's like most girls and people don't understand that type of shit. So they don't. It kind of freaks them out a little. It may be intriguing. Oh, that's really interesting, but that's as far as it'll go. They might just not. If you don't bring it up again, they might not think about it. It might. But most of the time, it's going to come through, and it's not going to do any. At the very best, most of the time, it doesn't do shit for you. They just ignore it, or usually it's just like, this is kind of weird. You're kind of weird. It has the exact opposite effect that most men think it does.
I think the advantage, sorry to interrupt, the advantage for both of us is it's something we can maybe, become a larger income stream for us down the road. Now, you said that you think a lot about like movies, like the
I fantasize about like everything, dude. Like especially like cool scenes, man. Like I love anything that I'm into, like racing, cars. I'll think about cars like doing cool shit, like cool drifts, cool driving scenes you might see in a movie. I'll think about cool action scenes you'd see in a movie like that. I just visualize the scene in my head over and over again, like just kind of like playing it in my head like a movie all the time, dude. It's what I do for fun, basically. It's like my version of fun.
Well, in my opinion, I think that women in general, and I think this has been scientifically proven, they think more, they like to conform. They're more of the conformist, and men are more, out of the box.
Stop with that. Stop right there. I gotta stop you with the bullshit. Men conform just as much as women, bro.
Well, I would have to disagree with that, dude. Because most
how do you disagree with that?
Well, look, most out-of-the-box thinkers are men. Let's be honest here.
Okay, that's a very small percentage, though. And there are definitely out-of-the-box female thinkers that I have met. Now, I don't know, maybe men's a little more, but you're really arguing a small number because that's such a small population. Most men conform just as much as women.
Okay, well, maybe. Okay, well, let me rephrase that. I would say, okay, most people are sheep, but out of that section of the population of men and women that think outside the box and are creative and have an entrepreneurial spirit, and most of those people are men, I would argue.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe most, but it's not as high, like, I don't know, it's tough to say, man.
And
it's
I think
tough to say either way. It's not like you're talking about such a small percentage of the population.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, most people who think outside the box, that is in general a very small a small section of the population. But so going back to what Drunk Hulk said, that women are intimidated by creative men. I mean,
I think everyone is, dude. To be fair, I think men are too, man. It's just you're not trying to fuck men, so you don't care as much.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, men are absolutely intimidated by creative. But I've gotten tons of shit from other men about my guitar playing and all sorts of shit, dude. Absolutely. I have gotten more shit from men than women because they get jealous about it, they get weird about it. So it's definitely not like, you know what I mean? I'm just giving from personal experience my whole life of dealing with this shit. It's just I don't know why, man. I don't get it because people consume movies and music and art all the time, but I think that most people consume it and they don't really, it doesn't mean a lot to them. I think they just do it because it's maybe popular. Like, I'm starting to think this. I didn't always think this, but I think most people just watch movies and listen to music because it's kind of like popular and it's kind of cool, but like they don't really like feel it on a very deep level.
No,
most people.
In fact, I find the biggest fans of my art tend to be kind of wealthy, more cultured people. Like, the people who talk shit, they don't have two nickels to rub together. I'm not trying to be disparaging, but those are often the people, like what you're saying, who are jealous of you despite your talent, right? Because they wish they had that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I was bullied about it in grade school, right? Like, it kind of blew my mind. Oh, I'm playing guitar. Why are kids in my middle school making fun of me? This is like the coolest thing you can do, right? For the most part. And then I left that school and I went to another school and everyone thought it was the coolest shit ever. And I was like, right, why didn't the other school think that, or class I was in? And then as I got older, my main bully, like the worst one, get this shit, like this is when it all clicked. The worst bully that I had when I got older, because again, he would make fun of my guitar playing, the type of music I listened to. He fucking listens to metal and all the shit he was making fun of me about. Like, he loves that shit. I look at his Facebook now and I'm like, oh, okay, this isn't always the reason, but a lot of the time it is. It's deep-rooted insecurity, jealousy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes it's just like, you're weird, fuck off, and that's not rooted in jealousy. That's just something different, but you know what I mean? So it's not always, they're jealous haters. Sometimes it's just like, they just think you're weird and it's whatever, fuck off. But they're not going to, like, torment you about it over and over again. Maybe it's like the people that go out of their way constantly to torment you there's usually something there, jealousy pulling them to keep doing that, I think.
Maybe I'm not taking maturity into account, because this was grade 8 and 9 where I won like the grade, like the art award for the grade. There's maybe 80 students in the grade. I won it like twice in a row for like 2 years or something. And I remember distinctly remember this one chick. You know, she was average looking, not bad looking, but I remember her just lying. Like, she was 3 seats away from me, where in earshot, rolling her eyes.
Right.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
well, it seems
I didn't know what to say, right? Because I'm usually humble about shit. I'm not gonna, start a confrontation.
It seems to me that both of you are artistic, like in the traditional sense. I mean, Matt does, his videos, and you do your artwork.
I'll do my music too, bro.
Your music too. Yeah, I used to drum as well. So
it all comes. It all comes together.
But like as far as I go, I do freelance and I do run a little business, and that does take a lot of creativity as well in terms of marketing and finding out ways to get new clients, and just to keep this whole thing going, this finely tuned machine, as Trump likes to call it. And I mean, I would say that most people I tell this about, they're intimidated with it as well. But I just think it's I just think people are intimidated by creative people because it's just out of the ordinary. Most people are just followers. Yeah. Let's be honest. And I mean,
it's a certain skill that they don't have. Maybe they want to have it, maybe they don't care about having, but it's definitely like they're intimidated, jealous of something that their brains just don't have and never will have.
I don't think their brain is operational. From the bottom line is, I don't think they have an operational brain. People who can't be creative. I think something is missing. Like someone once called into the Alan Watt show, not the Buddhist guy, but the conspiracy guy, and he asked him, Alan Watt, I'm worried about the collapse. This is a conspiracy show, right? And he said, I'm worried about the collapse. Yeah. I'm bringing my rice. I got my rice. I got my tools. Like, what kind of book should I bring to stimulate my mind? And Alan Watt, his response was, if your mind was functional, you wouldn't need to read other person's writing to get entertainment. Your brain would be able to, you would be able to find entertainment living in your own head without having to look up someone else's. Oh, this author's so good. Oh, they write such good fiction. It's like this is something that the followers need. The people who non-functional brains, this is what they need to stimulate their mind, or else they're bored. They need to have someone else's thoughts fed into them. Otherwise, they're bored. They have no creativity.
Yeah, but we all need that to an extent, though. You know what I mean?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, it's nothing wrong with watching a good movie. You're right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with watching a good movie or playing a game. No, for sure. But I'm saying people who need someone else's thoughts all the time. They feel like the world's gonna collapse. I got my bags of rice, but I need reading material too to keep my brain. Yeah, that's kind of like, so why. What's wrong with your brain that your mind can't come up with its own entertainment?
Mm-hmm. Well, dude, to be fair, man, like, I don't know.
School system hasn't taught us that way, right?
My brain can come up with entertainment that I really enjoy. It's all good. I laugh at my own videos all the time, dude. I laugh at my own jokes. I listen to my own songs. But, dude, I like listening to fucking Audio Slave, man. I like watching really good movies because people are different. They're different. I like consuming different things, It's like I don't need to always be consuming my shit. I want variety. I want other people's shit that's better than mine. That's way different, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, I can't create Lord of the Rings, dude, but I love that fucking. I could have never probably thought of that in that sick. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, no, I know what you mean. I mean, everyone likes
the Matrix, dude. Just yeah, dude. I mean,
he was more just, in my opinion, it's more just a message to people who live their whole lives. They're driving to work and they got the radio blaring. They always have to have something. They're eating their dinner. They have the TV on. They always have to have someone else's thoughts coming into their head.
I think that's more just their. I just think that's not so much that they can't create. I think that's more they're just running from their own thoughts in life.
Yeah, but that's
they're
part
just
of
trying to constantly block out the noise in their head.
But how can you be creative if you have other person's thoughts coming into your head? Well, basically from sun up to sundown. I mean, they got the radio blaring while they're driving to work. They got their computer on while they're at work all day. They're texting on their phone. How much time does the average person today get to sit and think and create their own thoughts?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
they don't.
It's stunning how many of these fucking, I'm not trying to be disparaging, but there's so many fucking political YouTube news type channels, and I'm like, they keep getting recommended to me, but I never fucking watch them. I know, like, why fill my head with that negativity? I'm already cynical enough, right? But what good is that gonna do me? So just thinking of all these people, they're posting political shit on Facebook. It just doesn't seem like I have enough hours in the day to indulge in that. Of course, from time to time, I like to zone out, veg out on, in my room, watch a good movie. Who doesn't, right? Yeah. Why you gotta set. My brother told me this, and it's helped improve kind of my whole art thing is just set small goals. He tells me, don't set these goals that I'm not going to meet, because then I'm going to get disappointed with myself. Just kind of, be a cocoon myself more. So, setting small goals is key, as silly as that might sound.
I don't know, man. Fuck those small goals.
Is that
Go big or go home. Yeah, you're gonna do small things to work your way up. Yeah, that's part of the process. But that
What
bigger
are
goal
your
is
goals,
what
man? I
matters.
think one of them is to be independent, right? To be like financially. Is that your main goal?
My main goal, man, is to fucking live a life that I want to live. I fucking hate this survival shit. Life is so much more than that as a human. It's this basic survival shit just drives me nuts. Like we're in 2020 right now with all this technology, and here I am scrambling like a little fucking rat to get a little piece of land, a little shelter. This is fucking mindless bullshit that in 2020, I don't think anyone in a first world country should have to deal with. So that being said, yeah, I'm trying to get the survival shit down, because I have to get that down before I can really build the foundation for the other parts of my life. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not, then I'm just scrambling. And again, you see the videos I made. I managed to try to make it work, right? Like I do what I can, but it's like that. If I don't have the independence and the survival shit down, it's always going to be an uphill battle, because I have to keep diverting my focus towards, I need the land. I need the you know what I mean? So
I mean, Matt, can I just say something real quick? I honestly think you got potential, man. Like I was actually very surprised
Don't even say that, bro. Don't even say that, because then I wish I didn't.
No, but listen, man. I think that
It
most
drives me nuts at night, bro.
I think that
I wish
most
I could just be like, I have no potential. It's over, and just move on.
no,
That's
but
why I
going
don't
to say.
share
No.
big goals, right? Because I don't want people, other people know my big goals, and then I don't meet them. I have the big goals in my head. I write down the small ones.
No, but I remember Espeo
What were you
telling me.
saying, Steve?
Well, when Espeo was telling me about you, he said, "Yeah, Matt, he does like these videos on YouTube and whatever." And I was just expecting it to be like some low quality, like just BS. But then I watched them, and I was actually like pleasantly surprised. So I think I'm not. I would never tell any. I would never be dishonest and lie to you. But I honestly think you have potential. But see, and another thing is
For
like.
what? What do you mean for what?
Well,
Potential for what?
whatever creative goals you have with this video, like it's totally random, your videos. But I mean, like it made me.
I
caught my
can see
attention.
Matt in HR.
In HR.
Shut up. He's the version
You're
that he's
fucking
trolling.
fired. You're fucking fired. Back
Nah,
up.
dude,
You're fired.
No, keep going with what you're saying, because
No, but
you can totally.
but all I wanted to say is that like I mean most people, and I'm literally talking about like 90 probably to 95 people, they have this they have this inner fear of releasing their creative outlet, most likely because they don't think it's going to be a success, most likely because they don't think people are going to like it, but with you it seems that you don't give a fuck and you just go ahead and do it, man. And I mean, some of your videos have quite a lot of views, so I mean, I like I said, I was just surprised, man.
The
So.
thing about
I had the
people
same
like
fear,
that,
dude. I had the
thing about
same
people-
fear, but I just pushed through it.
the thing about people
I
like
don't give
that
a
though,
fuck.
they're not gonna do well in the corporate rat race. Just kissing up to a boss for 40 hours a week. Those kind of people don't do well. Like I consider myself kind of like that as well, and I've always struggled in the working at just jobs, kissing up to whoever to try to get a raise and get a promotion. People like Matt, I'd say, are more fit for entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. Like
Yeah.
I was never good at office jobs and shit. So,
Because
even
office jobs are all about playing the role, looking nice. The trendy people who look and dress trendy, who say what they want to say. Those are the people who get promoted.
exactly.
Now, what video did you watch? You watched which ones did you watch?
Well, I watched that recent one, your most recent one, where you're drifting in a car, and then you're playing your electric drums, and then you're what else were you were filming your family, and then you were I don't know, filming some crack house or something like that. And
That's where I live.
oh, that's where you live. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. It was girls called it a crack. No, you're right. But keep going. Yeah. And then what? What did you get out of that? Did you watch the whole video?
Yeah, I watched it from beginning to end, and I like.
What did you get out of that video? What did it say to you? What was the message? What did you get out of that?
I don't know. I just thought, okay, this must be the life of some kind of hyperactive kid that, just wants to express his thoughts, and that's what I got from it. And like me personally, I'm into this kind of random shit. I don't watch movies anymore. I definitely don't watch Hollywood movies. I don't. That's probably what drew me to this community as well on YouTube, because it's just so out of the ordinary, So that's just kind of the impression I got from it. So.
Well, you said, oh, here's a hyperactive kid that wants to get out his thoughts. But did the video itself have any other message or any other thing that told a story? I don't know. I'm asking you because I don't get a lot of comments on the video.
I couldn't identify a storyline in it per se.
There wasn't.
Maybe. There wasn't. Well, I mean, maybe it was like a day in the life of Matt. I don't know.
Well, it was home movies that I shot. It was all just random shit that was in my Google Drive, stuff I had filmed, and and I always thought, that's a video that could get elaborated on, in my head that could. You look at that video and that's like, it's a finished video. I'm done. It's blah blah blah. But that's like a small example of what a small piece of something much larger. Like, say I could expand on that video and make like a movie out of it. It wouldn't necessarily follow that video, but the idea of what I had in that video, that to me is like, I finished it, but it's like it's moving towards something bigger. You know what I mean? Like, say a horror movie. You know what I'm saying? Like a real full feature horror movie.
So you would actually be interested in like directing, or?
Oh, dude, that's what I feel like I'm born for, or something. I don't know. Like, I would be so fucking excited and just fucking put everything I've got, focus wise, into making a fucking, say, a horror movie. I really love horror stuff, but I would do like comedy. I do a lot of different genres if I could. I don't know. Horror. There's a lot of shit I want to say about this life that's very evil and horror. So that's kind of more my focus right now. But yeah, I would 100% direct it. I'd fucking act in it. I'd write it. Whatever, dude. I'd do all the fucking music. I would edit it. Like, I would do as much as I could. I would do the fucking as much as the effects as I could. Again, as much as I could as a man before obviously I'd have to hire other people, but I would be doing as much as I could with the help of other people.
Hey man, I have nothing but respect for that, man. I mean, I respect that more than any.
I would do this, and I would fucking pay to do this. I would literally, if I had $100,000 right now, I fucking kid you not, I'm not bullshitting you. If I had $100,000 right now, I would figure out the stupid little property shit, and I would literally blow. The rest of that money, maybe 9%. I'd probably save a little just as backup, but the rest of it I would literally blow making a movie, and I wouldn't give two fucks if it ever made a profit. I would do it because for the love of it, for the message I want to get out of it, and just for trying to understand this life more. And I'm fucking dead serious when I say that. I don't give a fuck if it made a dime. I would probably give it away for free if I could. If people wanted to donate to the cause, that's cool, but like at the end of the day, I would pay to make it. Now, how many fucking people in this world would say they would literally pay money to create something? That's what pisses me off about this world. Like, people, everything's about a dollar. Everything's about, there's no passion, anything, there's no nothing. Like, to me, it would be a privilege, a fucking privilege to be able to do something like that. To even be able to have the money to pay to do something like that. You know what I mean? Let alone thinking about a product. So when I see music, movies, art in general, or anything, even a goddamn building, dude, a building, because that's a very creative thing that could be beautiful. Way more beautiful than just some corporate bullshit. I get so fucking mad that it's just corporatized and all about the profit. It just makes shit so soulless. There's no fucking soul in it. You know what I mean?
I would like to send you a book that's it's a free book online. I don't know if you ever heard of him. His name is Rich Zubeidi. He's a divorce.
I'm probably not gonna read it, man.
Oh well, I'm
What's it about?
Okay, well,
I just don't have time.
Don't dismiss it though. Because it's a book, and he even says this book is written for real men. Okay, it's not boring. He said the way he describes it is
it's just I get it, but like it's more like I just
read
I
a little
have
bit
to
of
keep-
it before you dismiss it. It's like
What's it called?
He even said it's called "What Men Know That Women Don't," and he even says like this book is not written for nerds. It's written for real men. You know, you're working on your car, you take a break, and you read a few paragraphs here and there. It's
Okay.
written in a very simple ways because the Rich Zubedi, he talks about how he's lived on 5 out of 7 continents on this planet after being divorced and raped in court, and he decided to live in most of his time in South America. And so he lived among all these people, and he said that the Western way is totally uh, polarize the other direction when it comes to masculinity and femininity. We have this system in the Western world where the man's job is just this hyper rational, logical, go to work. You know, you're kind of a robot. You go to work, and then the feminine role is actually like the more creative. Like they're actually at home, you know, creating, you know, doing work around the house, but he said like in primitive societies like in South America. It was actually the opposite. It was the woman's job doing
Dude,
these kind of roles.
I get where you're going. I appreciate. I get where you're going, but like it's just I've heard it all. I mean,
I was wondering. Drunk Holt was what is your quote?
I'd be curious to read it. Well, not read per se, because I'm kind of the same way. Like I'm kind of. So said I'm kind of ADD, so I don't read a lot. But audio books are something like I can listen to when I'm at work usually. COVID's kind of put my work on pause, but anyways, if there was a way I could find this on an audiobook, I'd definitely give this Zubeidi's thing a listen. It's What Men Know That Women Don't.
Yeah, you can get the text free, the PDF free is What Men Know That Women Don't, how to love women without losing your soul. And the reason why it's called that is because it's like today in America, to a real guy, red-blooded guy, getting attached to a woman is like losing your soul, because it brings you in the feminine, very rational mindset that's just not living day to day. Everything's about the future.
Hold on, back up. Getting attached to a woman, or like being with her in the here and now, or just getting
no.
attached?
I mean, like the woman's gonna bring you into like a this kind of mindset that's just kind of everything has to have a purpose. This is the feminine mindset. Everything has to get you ahead. Everything has to serve a purpose. Like you look, whereas a guy's mindset, you can have time for creativity. You can have time to create art, do it. But to a woman, it's like, you remember that guy Barbarossa? You guys remember Barbarossa?
Yeah.
Remember he talked about his mom always discouraged his dad because his dad wanted to turn his vehicle into using vegetable fuel.
Hold on.
This is why married men have the life sucked out of them.
Hold on. I think they're overcomplicating. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's there's so many guys out there. You say that, but there's so many fucking guys out there that nothing to do with their wives. They're just super overly rational with shit. That everything has to, like, I don't think that's a feminine or masculine thing per se. I think that's just like a fucking beta cuck scarcity mindset. I don't think that's feminine or masculine. I think it's just scarcity scared mindset. Like I gotta have everything in control, and I gotta have enough for a rainy day. Just that constant need for security, not even security, but I guess security. I don't know. I don't know, man. I get what you're saying. I mean, I don't know if I agree.
You gotta read this section from his book, because what he says is that the women are thinking, okay, how many acorns do we have? Do we have enough acorns stocked away for winter? Do we have enough clothes made for the
men are thinking that, dude. Men are thinking that too.
What he's saying is, he's lived with these cultures. He said that the men are concerned with day to day. The men are thinking, okay, it's morning. First thing to do, pray to God, the God, whatever God you have. Smell the air, search for fish, search for food, hunt. It's like it's more of a day-to-day lifestyle, whereas the female lifestyle is more female oriented. But I mean, take from it what you will. I'm not trying to push it on you. I'm just saying
you're trying to push it, bro.
I'm not trying to push it. I'm not. But I'm just saying
Second time you've told me this.
All right.
Second time you told me Espeo. Trying to push it, bro. It's cool. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Hey guys, I wanna ask Drunk Hulk. So you said you make art, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you feel like this is your life purpose, like this is what you would do for the rest of your life if it were up to you, right?
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
Okay, and I mean, objectively speaking, would you say you're good at it? I mean, like, I don't know too much about making art, but I mean, I understand that it does,
In
require.
terms of, well, the thing is with art is there's different um clientele demographic. Like, how would I say this? There's different markets buying art. There's like the
Sure.
cheap market, the people who buy shit off of from wall, like quote unquote wall art from Walmart, like made in China shit that's then printed again. People pay $100 for some big canvas to put on the wall, but shit, it's just like there's no value to it.
Yeah, I mean,
Walmart.
it's like that classic.
Mhm.
It's like that classic picture that probably like 50% of America has in the living room of those construction workers on the Empire State Building. Like, that classic picture that almost every fucking person has, like every normie has in their living room. And they don't want to have like original artwork from some artist that they love, or
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
I mean, the thing is, so I'm not going to be a master of of the the drone. I call that the drone. No disrespect, but those are the drones, right? The 9 to 5 people, middle class. They just come home to watch their Game of Thrones and be with their hubby, their schlubby hubby.
Oh,
Right?
absolutely, yeah.
They're not going to be buying good quality art. I would say I'm pretty good at in terms of appealing to doctor, lawyer, 50 to 60 age range. My art, it's kind of like in French Impressionist style. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
Not really, but go on.
yeah, Group of Seven would be another one. That's a Canadian art group, so it's probably not going to be familiar with them. But these people who created the same kind of art that I do, like, it's weird because your average everyday guy who would consider himself to be masculine say, oh, Drunk Hulk, you're an artist. Oh, that's some shit or whatever. No, but if you look at these French Impressionists and these people like would go up to Tahiti, totally like areas where Europeans had never been before. Like, these were real men. These artists. These guys were not feminine whatsoever. Femininity for me, that's like wearing another dude's like last name sports jersey on the back of your back, right? Like wearing somebody else's sports jersey and your whole life is fantasy football after your job, right? Like, that to me is more feminine than being an artist. But yeah, besides the point. Yeah, I would say I'm in the top 10 percentile.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, have you ever sold any of your artwork, or I mean,
yeah, that's based off the sale numbers I've had, and that's based. I've had something like 7 sales over the past years that I charge pretty high prices, and these were people I didn't know. So I have my own marketing strategy, and it's just COVID put the kibosh on that. So.
See, I think this is really interesting because I mean, I'm self-employed. I sell a product too. Maybe a product that appeals to a greater audience. I mean, I think it's interesting how I mean, again, I'm not an artist. But I have to think creatively about my business, in order to keep it afloat, in order to keep the machine going, in order to be able to have the financial freedom that I want to have. And it does take a lot of creativity, but I'm just trying to imagine, but you don't make a living with this, but you make a side income, let's say, correct?
Yeah, like it's people always refer to this nowadays as side hustle, right? That's kind of the name of the game.
Yeah.
But in terms of, I can't totally dismiss that lower end audience, the 9 to 5 people in there, because I could do is figure out a system where I can sell limited edition prints of the artwork I do. So I wouldn't only get paid once, $1,500 or something on my original piece. And I could make an additional or between $150 to $400 for each print. These are, I forget what the prints are made are. I don't know what the technical term for them is. There's some third party that would create these prints for me, and then we would both split the profits.
Okay.
Right? So those prints, the people paying $400, these are not people who buy original art, but at least I can make a buck off them.
So it's a form of commercializing your art a little bit in order to make a bit more money, but not selling out.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand you. Okay, wow, man, I think that's really interesting. I had one friend who was a painter, and it was his dream to always sell his art. And back then, me and my friends, we always made the joke. You know how all famous painters, they got rich after they died. So we always told our friend, "Hey, man, maybe you should go kill yourself, and you might make some money."
Yeah.
But
so wait, do we, Steven, do we have a libertarian that just demonized selling out? Because that's basically what libertarians do. They sell out everything to the highest bidder, like weapon secrets. They sell out their children. They sell out everything for money. Like, so is that like? But if you're a libertarian, don't you believe in selling out everything?
what exactly do you mean? I mean, why? Because of a free market enterprise?
Well, that's basically what a free market is just selling out everything to the highest bidder. So why you kind of had a problem with him selling his art, to the highest bidder? Isn't that what libertarians do? Isn't that what you guys?
No. He just described a business model where he would somewhat commercialize his art in order to make more money, but it's not like he's going to take one art piece of his and make 1 million copies and sell it all for $10 a pop. Right, Drunk Hulk? You would never do that, I assume.
Because that's not really, once you get down to that price range, do I really want my art on somebody's wall? It's going to be covered in, where it's in somebody who's buys garage sale art for $10, somebody who has no appreciation for it, and it's going to be covered in a film of marijuana smoke, all yellowed on the wall, not even in a frame. I mean, I don't want a print of my art taped some fucking halfway house or something.
Right. But Espeo, to answer your question, I don't think you understand libertarianism. It's what do you mean selling out your children, selling out everything? I don't think that has anything to do with free market enterprise. Free market enterprise is simply
extreme libertarian. What about so might as well you can have your sister prostitute herself because whatever makes more money, right? To extreme libertarian, nothing should be illegal, right? That's anarchy, right? I mean, obviously you guys believe that some things should be illegal, right? But I mean, don't you think that libertarians, their highest motivator is, extreme freedom? Everyone should be able to do whatever they want. Everyone should be able to sell whatever they have to the highest bidder.
Well, so okay. First of all, everybody should be able to do whatever they want as long as they do not infringe upon another person's individual rights. And individual rights are defined as, so I do have somewhat of a legal background. So individual rights, in my view, are natural rights, right? If when you're talking about natural rights, you're talking about, not killing someone or not stealing from someone or not infringing any harm on anyone. Basically the 10 Commandments like in the Bible. So if you would apply this to the free market enterprise, of course a company would never be able to sell cocaine to a baby. Of course, a company would never be able to engage into child trafficking, or it would never be able to, kill people for no reason, or kill people at all. So I mean, of course, there's a natural limitation on what the free market can do. I mean, it can't be complete. It can't. By the way, I'm not an anarchist. I'm what's called a minarchist. So, of course, there has to be some limited form of control of government. But, I mean, not to the point where our lives are regulated down to, how tall your fence can be. It can't be like an inch higher than, I don't know, 3 foot or whatever. So, I don't know if that answers your question, but, I mean, selling out, if somebody wants to sell out within the confines of the law.
Anarchy with libertarianism, huh?
What's that?
I guess I'm kind of confusing anarchy with libertarianism, huh?
Well, I mean, on the libertarian spectrum, there are anarchists. I mean, that is certainly the most extreme form of libertarianism where, there isn't really again, I mean, libertarianism is about respecting each one's individual rights. So, I mean, even in an anarchy, in terms of libertarianism, there wouldn't be people going around killing one each other or selling cocaine to babies or doing anything crazy like that. So, I mean, what libertarian really is just is anybody gets to do whatever they want, as long as everyone respects each other's natural rights. And if you want to understand what natural rights is, I mean, there's a lot of legal theory about it. I mean, that's for another video. I'm planning on making more videos, by the way. But that's it in a nutshell. But complete anarchy, that's not something I believe in. I don't think that's possible, to be honest. Although it has existed in the past. So, I don't know if that answers your question. Oh, hello?
You drop out of the call? Someone drop out of the call?
I think it's just me and you, Drunk Hulk, right now. I'm
here. Sorry to distract you guys from talk. Go ahead.
Okay. Wait, is Matt still in here? I think Matt dropped out.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, you're still there? Okay.
I'm here. I'm just zoning out on this bullshit.
Anyway, I didn't want to get into libertarianism too much. I think Ron Fan and I we're gonna have a long drawn out video about that. So let's not talk about that right now.
Debate number two.
Yeah, I think the first debate wasn't that good because I don't know. I was in South Africa. I was fucking 4 a.m.
It was late.
Yeah. So anyway, but I was just interested in your art, Drunk Hulk. I think it's cool, man. I think both you and Matt. I mean, you guys have a lot to offer in terms of creativity, man. And I always respect that when someone's like that. I mean, when I meet somebody who just has their regular 9-to-5 job and they have no creative outlet, that have no interest or are too scared to pursue their interests and their artistic or creative interests, I don't know. Like, I think a person like that really has no personality, no soul. Exactly.
Well, a lot of people working those 9-to-5 jobs, though, they come home, they got their own land. I mean, in their 30s, they got their own house, they got their own land. They're out building a nice looking fence in their backyard. They're out, trimming their trees. Their creativity comes after they get home from work.
Yeah, trimming trees and putting up a fence and mowing your lawn can't really compare it to the shit we're doing.
I mean, I think
to sound like I'm on some another level, but I don't know. I just think it's pathetic. I have a real distaste for it, for the average lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's just because I wouldn't give a fuck if these people just did their own fucking thing and pissed the fuck off, right? Like they just minded their fucking business. But guess what? That's not what they do. You know what I mean? Their business becomes your fucking business. I do my shit. I do my creative shit, whatever. But they enforce their shit on you. You know what I mean? Like the masses, you have to do what they're doing. The mob rules, majority rules. So that's why I'm very fuck, because they're always going to try to pull you back. If some people are to support you, again, how we've come full circle. How we were talking about how people get real fucking bitter and jealous. You know what I mean? That's a lot of people, and if they're not bitter and jealous, they don't really give a fuck what you're doing. They're not supportive of you. But motherfucker, you go to college, you go do some shit everyone thinks you should be doing, you'll get a lot of support from strangers, all sorts of people, dude, right? Like society supports you, but when you're going off the beaten path, man, you're just gonna get fucking kicked in the fucking back. You're gonna get stones thrown at you. It's hard enough just going down your own path, but they're gonna make it harder. So, and then they're gonna try to force you to do what they're doing on top of it. You know what I mean, dude? Like, so it's like, fuck these people. Fuck them. I have a real resentment for them. You know.
I had one of them tell me once, "Oh, why don't you get a better job?"
Yeah, fuck you. That's what you say to fuck you.
He was
why don't you go fucking get a brain, faggot?
He was a wormy little man.
Yeah, of course he's a wormy shit.
But you know, I think one major problem is that I think, and I made a video about this. You know, the golden cage syndrome. It's when, you know, you grow up as a child. You know, you go to school. You keep getting told you have to get a good job so you can buy a house, so you can buy all these things that you have to have. You know, so that you can impress a woman that you think you want to have, so that you can, you know, build this perfect fairy tale life that nobody seems to obtain. You know, most people are in pursuit of that, and while trying to achieve this goal, they build a golden cage around them. That's what I call it. It's creating all these financial obligations that you have to cater to, that you have to work for, that you have to make money for. You know, that's why most married men with families, yeah, they might be making 8, 9, 10 grand a month, but I mean, they have to pay a huge mortgage, they have to pay multiple car leases, they have to pay health insurance for their whole family, their kids, their wife. The wife wants to spend money too. You know, he has to pay for private school. You know, at the end of the month, he might only have maybe $1,000 a month as disposable income available to himself to spend on himself, if he's lucky. That's if the wife didn't spend it all. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is that most people are stuck in this golden cage where they trap themselves in, you know, an abundance of financial obligations that they have to cater to that they can't get out of. And I think that's important to understand. You know, like last year I dated a couple girls. They were a bit younger, like 26, 27, 28. They all owned houses already, you know, and they had all these financial obligations. They were up to their eyeballs in student debt too. You know, they really just created this situation where every day they have to, you know, engage into the rat race in order to keep up with what they created. So I think it seems to me at least that us four, at least, we keep a certain degree of minimalism in place so that we can engage into our creative outlets. And I don't think most people are like that.
Because they don't care. They're not going to, you know what I mean? They deep down, yeah, I mean, if they cared, they would do it, you know, at the end of the day.
I don't
think
it's a matter of caring. I think it's a matter of being afraid. I think most people are just simply afraid.
Yeah.
Like, Matt, you know, most people, if they were to do what you did, all they would be thinking about is, oh my God, the people are going to judge me. You know, I'm going to fail at this. I'm not going to get enough views.
Wait, do what? The videos, the music? What do you mean?
Just your videos on YouTube. You know, I think
you're talking about the shed, right? Living in the shed.
No, dude, we're talking about
that
the
too. Actually, yeah, that too.
Well, the shed too, but what do you mean? Like fear of judgment and what else?
Fear of judgment
and
failure. I think most people are just, they daydream about what they want to achieve creatively, but they keep thinking about, okay, well, if it doesn't work out, if I, you know, they're not willing to learn from their mistakes and go through the trial and error process in order to get better at what they want to achieve creatively. You know, they don't, you know, it's hard to explain. They don't want to pursue it because they're scared of, like I said, being judged, failing at it, not becoming a success at it. I think most people have this thought process. You know, they're not like you who just go out there and fucking post a video and they don't give a shit, you know, if people are going to give you bad comments or if people are going to laugh at you, you know. So
I get plenty of that, dude.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a matter of caring. I think everybody has.
It's bravery. It's courage.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think it's a matter of caring. I think everybody cares. I think everybody daydreams and wishes they could do something that they're truly interested in, or at least trying to do it. But I think most people are just scared and they just don't want to get it out there. So.
Well, I think most people are just too busy with a lot.
No, dude, you're wrong, man. You're wrong. You're wrong. Steve's right. They're not too busy with their lives. They don't do shit with their lives, dude. They don't do fucking shit with their lives. Most people are fat as fuck. How can you be busy if you're fat as fuck? If most people can't even fucking find the time to, you know what I mean, dude? Like, that just means they're sitting on their ass all day. They're not busy.
I mean, they're working, some of them working like 8 to 10 hours a day. They got chores to do when they get home. They got to cook dinner.
You're making excuses for them, man.
So,
you know what I mean?
I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying that they don't have time to have any creative outlet. Is what I'm saying. And then if they're married, oh my gosh, they're married and they got chores on the weekend they got to do.
They made their bed, didn't they?
That's true. They made that choice. Look, when I started out,
they made that choice, and I took the other choice. Now maybe I had I had some luck, like everyone else does. I got to live in some crack house in Philly, basically for free. I mean, yeah, not everyone has that. I got to live in my parents' backyard in a shed that, mind you, I did build my own. But you know, guess what, dude? Like, you know how much judgment I get for this shit? Not that I give a fuck at all anymore. That's why, you know. But like, yeah, like you sacrifice a lot for this, and they're not willing to sacrifice anything. That's why they have their 9 to 5. That's why they don't risk or sacrifice anything. Fucking, you know, and I'm not sitting there even trying to be on a high horse. I should be risking and sacrificing more as well. So, but yeah, they're not sacrificing.
But what gets me about you is you have a lot of skills. You have electrical, plumbing, construction.
All that I
have skills you can
pursue,
apply.
Man. All that I pursued, though. And it's, what about the skills, though? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you can obviously make a decent income if you wanted to, right? Or are you saving up to get a down payment on land or a house? Or
I don't know, man.
What's your end goal?
Dude, I don't even have. I mean, my end goal, like I said, all that matters is I keep doing my creative shit. I push that as far as I can. I don't give a fuck. This survival, like the stupid shit, dude. The end goal is keep pushing the creativity, keep pushing, putting shit out there. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm gonna die, so it don't really fucking matter, does it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm willing to die at this point for what I love. You know what I mean? If it means I'm homeless, if it means I'm the crazy person you see on the street 20 years from now, I mean, that's where it's gotta fucking be, you know?
Yeah.
You there?
Sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really respect what Matt has to say. I mean, it's like I know some people that just really love what they do so much that they'll sacrifice for it, and I mean, I can see myself in it a little bit as well. When I started my self-employment journey, when I transitioned from my boring ass office job where I was depressed, overweight, I was drinking too much, you know, anything to get my mind off of this fucking office job. And, you know, Sunday evenings, I couldn't even fall asleep because I was just so fucking anxious about going into work on Monday. When I transitioned from that into my self-employment journey, starting out, I didn't have shit either. I could barely pay rent. I had nothing. But I just worked hard and made it work until it worked. I mean, of course, like, Matt obviously has a way bigger challenge ahead of him. I mean, becoming a movie director is something way different as to what I do, but I can totally understand it, man. And but I think it's a dream worth fighting for. You know, I mean, it's it's intense, and not everyone's like this. No, the majority of the people aren't like this. Almost nobody I know is like this. Like, everybody I know has their job, you know. And they just do, you know, all this.
Yeah, we're on the physical. We're on the physical level. We're like people like me. I'm thinking about, okay, I want to be here. I want to have this kind of land, this kind of place to live, you know. But Matt's on a whole different level, wavelength. He's like thinking about.
What do you mean?
Music. I mean, because I'm on the physical plane. I'm thinking, okay, 10 years from now, I want to have more land.
I'm not,
bigger house.
I'm not here physically, bro. Kind of I'm not here physically with any, you know. You're right. I'm not here physically in this fucking reality. I'm
so
here.
What he's saying is, like, I don't understand it. I mean, I understand it, but it's just I'm a whole different wavelength. I don't get value from creative pursuits. I don't get value from playing the instrument or.
Well, but Espeo, sorry for interrupting you, man. But I think Espeo, you during the time when you built your channel, I mean, that was a creative pursuit. that's something that you seem to love doing. And I mean, I remember you told me, hey, I got 100 subs now. You know, you reached a goal there. I mean, to me, that seemed like that's definitely a creative pursuit in my eyes.
That's true. That's true.
It might be a small one, and it might be nothing compared to what Matt's trying to do, but I mean, still, it's a creative pursuit. So I think Matt is going through that, but then times 1,000, you know, or 5,000 or 10,000. So
why do you say so much more?
Well, I mean, bro, we got to be honest. I mean, becoming a movie director, I mean, that's I don't want to crush your dreams, but I'm just saying that's harder to achieve than probably most other things. I mean, from what I understand, like successful movie directors. I'm a
quarter way there, right? I'm a quarter way there, right, with all my videos.
I mean, I was impressed with it. Seriously, like when I watched it, I was not expecting this, man. Like, really.
What were you impressed about it? What was good about it, bad about it? I like getting feedback on that stuff because I'm trying to keep improving. I'm trying to keep pushing forward. I mean, it's been a while since I've done a video, but I'm trying to get back into it. I'm trying to keep pushing forward.
I mean, obviously, it's nothing professional, but I mean that's understandable. But I mean, it's I don't know. Again, maybe it's just me because I'm into random shit like this, but I don't know. It just left me. It was just impressionable to me. That's all I can say. You know, I thought that. But maybe it's also. But maybe it's also because I remember Espeo telling me that when he was talking to me about you for the first time, Espeo said, yeah, he does like videos on his channel, and then it was like, okay, I thought it was like TFL videos or something like that. But
nah, dude, I told you I don't do any of this TFL shit because I'm not technically a TFL. I just like these black pill topics. But yeah, no, my vid channel's nothing to do with that stuff.
Right, okay.
My stuff's like very deep with other other shit that I don't know. You know what I mean? It's obviously there's a lot of funny shit. Most of my channel's comedy bullshit.
I mean, Steve, is this a TFL? I mean, do you consider your channel TFL channel? Because I don't think any of us. I mean, I don't want to speak for you guys, but I don't think any of us are TFL here.
What was it? What was it? The music? Was it the way it was shot? The what was it about it? The whole thing, the way it was put together.
I mean, the acting is pretty good. I thought that How to Know Your Neighbors video was pretty good.
Well, did you watch the Demon one?
I watched 3 of them. The most recent one, the scaring kids in the mask on Halloween one, and
did you watch the Xbox Enforcement live? That's one of my favorite ones I've done. It's a long one, but that one I fucking cherish because I just it's very near and dear to my heart, and I put a lot into that one, and it's a comedy one.
I'll have to go check it out, man.
Yeah, I mean I'm making fun of. You know, Xbox Live and all this censorship they're doing. I mean, in general, dude, let's be real. Even anywhere, like, you say some mean shit, people censor you. So they like, fucking ban you on Xbox Live for talking shit. So I made a whole video making fun of Xbox Live enforcement team, but I kind of was making fun of all this shit. Like, I don't know. I put a lot into it. I thought it was funny. I have a green screen in it. Like, I have, like, different characters I made up. And, like, I don't know. It's just, you know, I love it. Like, that's what I look for. You know what I mean?
Are you a fan of Sam Hyde?
He's okay, dude. I don't really think he's funny though. Like, I like some of his serious videos, but I don't find his humor funny, like, really at all. It's just kind of like too autistic for me. If I'm being blunt.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Like, I don't know. I don't find that type of humor. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like stoner humor to me or something. I don't know. It's like weird. I don't know. He's okay guy. I like some of the stuff he said, but I don't like his comedy. I don't think it's bad. It's just I don't really laugh at him. You know?
Right. Yeah. No, it just seems to me that he's pretty much doing what you're doing. I'm not in terms of you guys' style of movie making, but he's just out there trying to make it, man. Like he makes videos talking about how he's dedicated his whole fucking life to it, man, and like it's driving him insane, but he still has this drive of keeping on doing it no matter what. I mean, from what I understand, he lives in Brooklyn, New York, where it's fucking expensive, and he's still making it work somehow with rent, health insurance, all this crap.
I respect that about him for sure, 100%. I'm just not a big fan of his work.
Right, I got you. Okay.
I respect his drive. I respect even some of the stuff he said in his non-comedy videos, but his work just not for me. But I respect him as a human for sure. More, yeah, definitely. But no problems at all. I would have a beer with him, 100%.
Right.
I can't say that about like 99.9% of people.
Yeah.
What's first got a snap? Oh, he needs counseling.
Oh, I haven't even looked at the counselor guys. Oh wow, counselor guys in here. No one needs counseling. I wasn't
First
even.
is about the snap. We need to get first a blowjob. Someone's got to step up to the plate. Minnie, step up to the fucking plate and suck First's dick. Please, someone. Prostitute, someone. God, everyone's like, oh my God, did you hear what he said? Oh my God, he told a girl he used to suck for that guy's dick. Oh my God. Oh my God. Whatever. Minnie and I got into it, as you know, so I like to pick on him a little.
I mean, has Minnie been calling into any of these shows lately, or?
No, she doesn't call in when I'm on.
Oh,
Hey, let me. What I want to know, since we're talking about goals, Drunk Hulk, are you kind of on Matt's plane of existence with the creative side, or are you more on Espeo's side, like with the physical? Like, do you want more like more land, more space, more bigger house? Like, what do you think, Drunk Hulk?
I think he muted his mic for some reason. Let's see if he replies.
For me personally,
Oh,
in order for me to kind of follow my creative dreams, I find myself actually being risk adverse, and so that means extreme minimalism for me. So I mean, I'm just thinking in efficiency. I don't have any plans to buy a place, as I've got some savings. I have a small separate pile of emergency savings, a few investments. But for me, it just, in Canada, it doesn't make sense to buy property for somebody of my current income level. So I don't know where I would fit in the middle somewhere of you guys. What do you think? Like,
you know what, Drunk Hulk, and this is probably the most anti-libertarian thing I would say, but I mean, you do live in a socialist country. You could just go on welfare and just work on your art full time until you make it.
I won't. Unfortunately, currently, with the way the programs are set up currently, I don't qualify because of my savings. I would love. Hey, I fucking hell, I would if I could. I take if it's there, I'll take advantage.
I mean, if the government is dumb enough to offer it, you might as well take it. But I mean,
I would love if they eventually did like a basic income, so that way I could. I always know my rent would be covered, and I could just, if I get carried away with my art and I forget what fucking time it is, it doesn't matter if I show up to my job in the morning, because I'll be good,
But Drunk Hulk, that's one of the problems I see coming with UBI. I think once UBI is implemented, I think that suddenly everybody is going to be an artist and everybody is going to be a movie maker. And
I don't think so. I think people are so addicted to consumption that I think it's going to encourage more work, because people aren't going to be in that welfare poverty. Like, if I make over this amount, I'm not going to get my benefits anymore. So I have a bit of a contrary opinion to you there, and that's fine. A lot of people have varying opinions on UBI.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. I mean, maybe. Yeah. I mean, you got a point. Sure. Yeah. And yeah. I mean, fact of the matter is that most people are not creative. So I mean, or are too scared to be creative.
They people are just going to be lazy, fucking do nothing, blah blah blah. It's going to kill the economy. Not really, because those people are already
on the economy. Fuck the economy.
Those people are already on welfare, right? So
let it crash.
I don't know. Could be any worse than it is now, with all the wealth in the hands of these top corporations. Keep thinking that all the wealth is going to trickle. If we bail out these multinationals, the wealth is going to trickle down economics, right? That doesn't work. Why not do trickle up economics with a universal basic income? You guys in the US, you're lucky if you're the, whatever they call it, the petrodollar thing. US can theoretically print as much money as it wants.
Right. Well, but that wouldn't necessarily be a good thing, because that would lead to inflation. Although, I mean, if it's controlled, it wouldn't. But
I know I've got my personal plan for UBI would be to raise the sales tax by 10%. That would do it in Canada. That would cover everybody at $1,000 a month, a floor for capitalism. I just think unfettered. I think capitalism starting at $0 is fucked up. Because it doesn't account for things that can happen to somebody, whether you're a single male and you don't have the same opportunities as a woman, or whether you have a disability or whatever the fuck the circumstance is, right? Live in an expensive city. There's a lot of shit, or you get into an accident, a lot of shit's out of our control. I think a basic income would remedy that. But it's not all based on how pulling up your bootstraps and working hard. There's a lot of work's getting automated away. That outsourced.
Did you just cut out or?
No.
Oh no, you're still there. Okay. No.
I sit here.
Everyone's still here. Espeo.
Yeah, bro.
Espeo doesn't seem to be answering.
I think people of both political parties, what's in the U.S. or Canada, should agree. A 10% sales tax for $1,000 a month UBI it's a no-brainer, because you'd have to spend fucking $10,000 a month to not benefit from the UBI anymore, right? Because think about 10% additional sales tax. Most of us minimalist guys are barely spending on top of our rent $1,000, $1,500 at most.
That's true.
About rent, filling your gas tank, insurance, taxes, food, else, a few other things, a bit of savings,
Mm-hmm.
That's where your own business, your own passion would come in, right? Like you're making movie director. I think it's conducive. UBI is the most conducive thing to making your dreams come true.
Yeah, I heard about this theory that UBI would definitely promote creativity, because it
but
would.
They don't care about that. Most people don't like. That's why it'll never get passed, because they're gonna be like, "Oh, fuck you, piece of shit."
They would rather
because
see
those people are, suffer and burn. They'd rather see all of us suffer and burn with them. So that's like you should never say that if you're trying to support UBI. It should be. That's like the worst argument you want to tell these people. Like they'll dig down even more and be like, no. But but deep down, I think they know that, so they're never going to get it passed either way.
To sell it to these corporations that because the U.S. it's not really a democracy. It's kind of an oligarchy controlled by corporations. You'd have to sell it differently. You'd have to say, look, now people have $1,000 a month more that they can spend on you, Mr. Bezos, into your company. Yeah, most people are going to do that. They're going to buy their sheep, right? They're going to do the same shit they've been doing. A few of us, you and me, like the people who think outside the box, we're the ones who are going to flourish, right? Like minimalists, but the creative types. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of wealth transfer. See, the thing is, I think in a free market enterprise society, let's say where there would be barely any taxes, where rich people wouldn't be taxed to death. I think if we would live in a society like that, I'm pretty sure a lot of rich people would suddenly become much nicer, become way more philanthropic, and I think we would live in a society where, I don't think people would be left behind, because there would be a bigger sense of community. People are very, there's a lot of anxiety about all these taxes and rich people. The reality of the situation is that
I'm not proposing we increase income taxes at all. You won't need to. I've done the math on this shit. It's just a 10% sales tax.
You're talking about the sales tax, yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a wealth transfer. It's really
Are
just.
You spending $10,000 a month right now on consumption? It's not. But what do you got to worry about? It's these fuckers in private jets who should be paying more for their consumption. And they're still going to do it because their egos are through the roof. They're still going to be buying their fucking Rolls Royce private jet, Look, people say they earned it, so,
Right, but what you need to understand is that...
I'm not saying eat the rich. I'm not saying We gotta fucking because here's the thing.
But Drunk Hulk, let me just stop you there. Rich people aren't paying taxes in our society. I know a lot of people think they are, but they're not. They open what are they called, foundations. They have all kinds of tax loopholes where they can bring money to random Caribbean islands. They can there are all kinds of tax structures where
No, I know.
You do realize that Amazon literally paid, like, I think a 0.00001% corporate tax. So I don't think wealth transfer is the solution. I think incentivizing
Yeah, I'm not proposing a wealth transfer tax, though. That's why I'm with you there, because they don't work, because these corporations will pay fucking lawyers like fucking $500,000 bonuses if they can get them to avoid paying tax, right? That's like a month of work for the lawyer, and for the corporations it's worth it because they don't have to pay any fucking corporate tax or whatever through these loopholes and offshore shit. But the sales tax, you can't avoid it. You cannot avoid a sales tax. So that's why it's so brilliant, because it would benefit us at the bottom, the minimalists, the creative types. Because we're not.
Well, let me ask you this. But let me ask you this before I gotta cut you off, because I get what you're saying. It's making logical sense. But at the end of the day, don't you feel like you're wasting your brain energy and time even thinking of solutions? Because they're never gonna happen. We have no power. We're fucking peasants. I feel like it's really, really pointless to talk about this kind of shit.
I agree.
It's fun as mental masturbation. But that's all it is.
Because they want to fuck us. I think they want to see mass homelessness. We can mentally masturbate and say, "Oh well, if I was Jeff Bezos, I wouldn't want to have my children see, hundreds of, 80% of the population sleeping outside the gates of my fucking gated community, like homeless tents and all that." Maybe they probably don't give a shit. They've got ways they can shelter their kids from this. Maybe these are evil motherfuckers. I don't know.
Drunk Hulk, I just wanted to add that the problem with increasing a sales tax is that it's going to disincentivize people from buying certain things, and it's going to damage businesses. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's true. Look, if you want to buy your iPhone, depending on where you are in the United States, you're already paying, between 6 to 9, 6 to 9% sales tax on it. If that's suddenly going to be 19%, trust me, on a grand scale, a lot of people are going to stop buying iPhones just for that simple fact.
Because of planned obsolescence, they're going to have to buy their iPhone. It's their crack. It's their addiction. It's such a consumer society. I think you're underestimating how most people, they don't have fucking any emergency savings. I'm talking people in their 40s with families. They have zero emergency savings because it is buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
sure. Maybe it would be something worth trying. I just don't know. It's I don't know. It's just at least down here in America, people fucking hate sales tax, man. So
they really didn't go to Mexico where you're gonna get like pulled over by, fucking people with semi-automatic weapons, like the gangs that control sections of Mexico. They really gonna go drive down to Mexico City to buy product for 10% less or something? No. Doesn't make it. And then the fuel and all the time. You have to look at time as money for people. Mm-hmm. So something to consider. I agree with you.
I got you. Yeah.
It's something I'm kind of passionate about because I want it because to me it makes sense. That's why I'm kind of passionate about it. I also realize it's mental masturbation. Like I gotta kind of just stop.
You cut out. What'd you say?
Yeah, you're cutting out.
I'm saying even me and my dad were talking about this. We both agree on this concept. Like I spent so much time convincing my dad. Now he's on board with me with the idea of a sales tax funded UBI. The thing is, it's useless because people in government are so fucking corrupt. Society is so stupid. It's never gonna and the rich are so corrupt. Never gonna happen. So you're right. It's mental masturbation for me to talk about this shit.
Yep.
It's a waste of my time.
Yep.
I should spend
Wasting
more
your time.
Yeah. So
That's why. Sorry. As soon as you guys start talking about it, my brain disengages from it. I didn't hear a word you guys said.
and mine was
As
early
soon as
on.
this shit starts getting talked about, I disengage. I don't put any effort into thinking about it. It's a waste of my time. So my brain just goes, hey, tune out. I started looking at something else.
No, I should. That's smart of you.
I didn't hear a word you guys said.
Early on, when you guys were talking about libertarianism, I just kind of turned off because I mean, I've got a lot of shit on my plate. As soon as somebody asks me a question, then I'll think that through and try to come up with my honest answer. So
No, it's true that all this shit is beyond our control anyway. It's true. I think it's more worth, thinking about your life and just kind of disregarding all the shit that's out of your control. And I mean,
we have to ourselves as, unfortunately, we're kind of like salmon swimming upstream. The system is there to provide bureaucratic, cushy jobs for women.
Just gotta learn to live. Gotta try to learn to be on the outside of it, or just try to get what you can out of it without getting sucked in by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, in a way, I see my life as kind of like a game, like on hard mode or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it is, bro.
Hey, Drunk Hulk, how old are you again?
I'm almost 28.
28, okay.
Young buck.
I'm going to say 28 because I'm closer to 28, so.
Oh, 27, so okay.
Mentally prep myself, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you, man, it's not fun turning 30, man, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I think Matt can agree. I mean, it's not as bad, but I mean, it's just you kind of start realizing, man, like you're not invincible anymore, man.
No.
I mean,
Matt, you're
31.
what the fuck? You don't see. Anyways, in your photo, you. I think you should. You show your photo at one point, but you. Oh, maybe it's Steve who looks younger than me. I don't know. I feel like I look old for my age.
Well, I showed my face on yesterday's live stream. Me and Espeo, we had our webcams on.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning, but
I remember that.
Like
I was jacking off to you, boy. I was fucking jerking it, baby.
But it slowed down the live stream, so I was like, "Fuck it." But I don't know. I'm thinking of buying a new laptop, so maybe that'll come again.
No worries.
But I don't know. I think people think that I look older than I really am. I know, like I'm tall. I got a little bit of a.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'3", man.
Damn, dude. Fucking.
And this shit that being tall is attractive to women. It's overrated, man.
As
Trust
long
me.
as you're like average, they don't.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have the looks too. Like, I mean, you have to.
It's the looks. Yep.
And I'm
100%.
not saying I'm an ugly guy. I'm just saying that I'm not.
No, we know you're Chad. We know you're Chad.
No, I'm not, man. I'm not an 8 or a 9 or anything crazy like that. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, height is important for women, but you got to be a male model basically too. So,
You're a K-pop star. I swear, I see so many women, all races, with these feminine-looking Asian guys. I mean, they're usually taller guys. True, maybe around 5'10", 6'2", kind of. I'm 6'1" almost.
Okay. Whoa, you're tall too. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm barely 5'7", bro. So.
I mean, I'm sorry, bro. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter because it's gotten enough fucking hot pussy, so it's not. What is your height? What is the 6'3", 6'1"? What has it done for you? What does it do for you besides getting the pussy?
That's a good point, man. I mean,
like, what you know what I'm saying? For real, like, you're sorry. Like, what are you sorry about? You sorry that I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, yeah, I guess you could say you're sorry that some girls have rejected me on my height. Yes, some have, but I've banged enough hot chicks and been with enough hot girls and have had enough hot girls that I've not been able to, like, that I pussied out on, that it's like, I don't feel sorry for me, or I feel like that's, it's you know what I mean? Like, don't even waste it on me.
You're right. That was the wrong thing to say. In any event, you're not short or anything. So I mean, it's not like you're a midget. So
rather be like 5'8" or 5'9" with a baby face. That's what I see. Those are the types of guys I see with women. But then again, you know, is being with a woman everything? No. For me, I'd rather fully live out my whole art thing, even if that means I'm single. Like, I technically am not TFL because I have a woman I could call over. You know, well, after the COVID thing dies down, obviously. But look, if I wanted to succeed in the corporate world, yeah, fuck yeah, I would have done better if I looked shorter, had a less intimidating, more of a baby face. I swear to God, man, I swear that's what it is. That's what women want.
Wait, are people up in Canada, are they like paranoid about going on Tinder dates and all of that because of COVID? Because that hasn't been my experience down here, man.
Dude, it's happening all over. I mean, some girls are definitely paranoid. Some are. I actually met up with a girl the other night from Plenty of Fish. I drove like an hour to see her, and I think did I tell you Steve about that?
Yeah, you told me something like that. So,
yeah, I got fucking ghosted. We hooked up. She seemed really into me. And I had that gut feeling something was wrong, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I thought it was something else. But, like, of course, if you're with the girl, you're there, your gut feeling is telling you something about that situation. So I just kind of ignored it. But she was really into me. And then, like, you know, the next day, fucking didn't say shit. And I haven't talked to her since. So it's like, yeah, that gut feeling was telling me something was off. Like, something wasn't going to work.
I just thought it was interesting that Drunk Hulk said that after this COVID-19 thing passes that you can see that woman again, because it seemed like I met up with a girl 5 days ago. Like, I'm still seeing her every now and then. She actually lives at my apartment complex here, and I don't know, she didn't have a problem at all with like Corona. She just told me she just, you know, everybody seems to be going on dates here. So I mean, although
her roommate's like a middle-aged lady, as far as I know, so that could be part of it. Maybe she's
Hold on, first is right. Always trust your gut. No, I always do trust my gut, but like I was tired first, and like I don't know, dude. It didn't matter. Like, yeah, I always do trust my gut. Like, but like, no, I've read all about the gut shit, dude. No, it's definitely right, and I just wasn't thinking about it. I didn't care enough about this girl. I just thought it was kind of weird that I was getting a gut feeling that something was wrong, even though like. I just didn't even think about it because I wasn't that invested to be honest. And then like I just thought the gut feeling was something else. But yeah, when I didn't hear from her, I was like, oh, that's what that gut feeling was telling me. Something wasn't going to work out. So yeah, I mean, there's something I could have done more. Like I made out with her. She wasn't going to pursue anything else more. It was over before it began. So it was like, whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Well, anyway, I mean, this, and I remember first mentioning this when he was in that stream with, I think it was with Cock. You guys remember that guy? He first mentioned that, you know, this Tinder, this online dating shit, it's unnatural, man. It's unnatural because, like, every Tinder date that I've gone on, for some reason, feels like a fucking job interview. Whenever I met a girl at a party, or naturally, it's like, I don't know, like, we'd hook up and we just, like, talk about other shit than just what we do, or, like... You know, it's
bro. I mean, I hear you, but like, you must be. I hear you, but that hasn't been my experience with a lot of Tinder dating.
Well, it's not always like that. I mean, it's definitely with girls past 30, but younger girls, they're obviously a bit more easygoing.
Like even with the older chicks, man. I guess it depends on the combos you have with them and how you approach it.
In my opinion, with online dating, when a guy goes on online dating, it's like he's putting himself on the clearance rack at TJ Maxx or Marshalls. He's putting his body, his life on the clearance rack. He's not getting full value for what he can offer someone. He's just basically the only way to get in a situation where you're with someone on your level is through your social circles, your family setting you up, you know, your friends from high school, that kind of thing. If you have your social circle in line, you kept in touch with your friends from high school and college, then I mean, you can put yourself on the market and get a good commensurate trade for that for yourself. But I mean, putting yourself on online dating, you're putting yourself on the clearance rack. You might be a 9 or an 8 or a 7 or whatever, and you're gonna go for half that. That's what you're gonna go for on the online dating thing. It's like you're putting yourself on the clearance rack.
That's why I never got into
How
Tinder.
long's this show going on for? First, just ask, because I was gonna. probably get off for a little bit, and I might come back on later. How long do you think you're going for?
I mean, maybe for another hour. I mean, it depends on how everybody feels like. I mean,
okay.
I'd probably have to cut it off after another hour. Turn my thing up tomorrow and doing some shit.
Thanks for coming, Drunk Hulk. I was telling Steve and I was telling First about and Matt about how like I like how Drunk Hulk when he comes on, and I've heard you on Bill's stream. Like you're very genuine. Like when you talk, it feels like it's definitely from the heart. You're not trying to impress. That's what I appreciate about when you call into all these shows. Drunk
absolutely,
Hulk.
absolutely, yeah.
Thank you. I figure I can be genuine because I'm probably on YouTube's list of people will never be monetized, so you don't have to worry about phoniness from me.
Yeah.
And just in terms of all the channels I've been on and FL shit, that's probably a red flag for all of YouTube.
See, this is why I don't watch Hollywood movies anymore. I'm on fucking YouTube watching all these people doing live streams like real people. Real people talking about real shit. I don't have the fucking patience to watch the new Jumanji remake. I don't have the
He's
fucking...
watching my fucking...
You guys
he's watching me...
Yeah,
watching me with a fucking...
I said, do you guys agree that with King Espeo that when a guy goes on
the King Espeo, motherfucker!
He is putting
You're
himself
not a king!
Hold on, repeat that.
Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree with King Espeo that when a guy goes on an online dating app, he is basically putting himself on the clearance rack at Marshalls or TJ Maxx or one of these discount stores?
I mean, yes and no, yes and sometimes, yeah, sometimes, but not always.
Well, I think first of all, most women don't even notice 80% of men. So I mean,
yeah, that's true too. So,
they're not on the clearance rack. They're on the fucking
floor.
they're on the fucking floor somewhere. They're in the back, like in the back storage of Marshalls somewhere.
They're just blocked, like they're not even in a. It's like more because you can't really hide the merchandise in a real store, but in online, they see those ugly guys and they just like you fit like you do with ugly chicks. Do they exist to you? Do you fucking even notice grandma? Do you notice grandma? Do you notice the fat lady? No, in real life and in online. So that's how they notice guys. They're not into it. You don't. They're just not there. They're fucking gone. They're tuned out. They're blocked. They're ignored even though they're there. They're not there. Might as well be not there. You know what I mean?
But I understand what Espeo is saying. You're kind of I mean the clearance rack analogy it makes sense. It does.
I would even say it's worse than that. I wish it was you're not there. I've seen workplaces where.
Oh God, are we going to the stalker? Are we going to start talking about the stalker?
No, we're not talking about the stalker.
Because I think that's what you're leading to here, bro. Is that what we're leading this to?
No, we're not leading. No. What I was going to say is I've worked in work environments where we were talking about hiring someone, okay? And you got a lot of women in their early 20s working at this place, okay? And the girls are talking about, oh yeah, we need to hire a guy here. And it's in retail, so you got mostly women there. So the girls are like, we need to hire a guy here, but it needs to be a hot guy. It needs to not be.
Hell yeah, bro! It needs to be a hot candy, bro. So it's like. They don't want you, King Espeo. They don't want you, King Espeo. You're like, I'm the hot guy, bro.
No.
Whip it out. I'm the hot guy, bro.
They said this.
Whip it out. Whip it out, King Espeo. You're a king. Whip that dick out. You're a king. Whip that dick out. If you're a king, you gotta whip the dick out, bro.
They said this in front of King Espeo. We need to hire someone, but we need to hire a hot guy. Okay, it can't be anyone else. If you're a guy to a woman in her 20s, if you're a guy and you're not hot, you're like you're basically beneath dirt, one step beneath dirt.
Okay, but let me ask you this question: when you're in your 20s and there's a not hot girl, are you? What is she? Is she not below dirt? Like, do you not care? Like, same shit, You know what I mean, dude? I mean, this is where I find men hypocritical. Like, when women do the same shit that men do, like, I think men are just finding out how women aren't that much different. Like, that's true. I think that all this shit is black pill is just like, oh my God, women care about looks and all this shit just as much as us men do. And it's like, oh my God, no! no, you know what I mean? It sucks. It sucks. But like, yeah. Oh well, like you know what I mean? Like they're not like they're different in a way, but they're not different in that way. Like yeah, you don't exist if you're ugly.
Right.
You know?
I think if you're
unless
ugly,
she's ugly too.
I think if you're ugly but you're like non-intimidating looking, that's better if you're like than if you're a tall ugly guy who's like very masculine.
I don't think it even matters, dude. Like yeah, they don't like you know what I mean? I don't know. I get what you're saying. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
There's advantages to being the guy who people would want to invest their money with. You know what I'm saying? Like that can play in your advantage, even when it comes to your passion. Like even selling my art, I might have done that better theoretically. But that's mental. It is mental masturbation to an extent. Maybe,
dude. You never know. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, Drunk Hulk, would you say because you know Espeo, Matt, and I we've all showed our faces. I mean, would you say objectively you're an attractive man, like to women, or no homo?
No.
Homo. Actually, 100% homo.
Mm-hmm.
With it out of the way.
Say I'm like in the middle somewhere. I'd say I'm at. Yeah, it depends on the day. Sometimes maybe average.
But I mean, you said you're sort of with a woman right now, so I mean, there must be something about you.
I'm with her because she's from a more kind of traditional society, so they have more traditional men like. I remember one time she said, "Oh, you know, your photo on WhatsApp or whatever, you look like a child," and that's what most.
Damn.
But in person, she's like, "Why do you look like a child in WhatsApp, and then in person you look like more manly or whatever?" So,
yeah, because you're 6'1", they probably think.
Let me ask you guys a question. You and Drunk and you, Steve, and maybe you, SPO, but you have a sense of me. You guys seem why are you guys so serious all the time? You guys sound like you're serious all the fucking time. I can just tell in your voice you guys are serious way too much of the day. Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
Maybe it's who we surround ourselves with, our lives.
There's definitely that for sure. Yeah, but
some people they either got a comedic ability or they don't, right? That's kind of.
Yeah, but it doesn't even matter about comedic ability. Like, don't you like not taking? I mean, you don't have to take yourself that seriously. It's not even about pleasing others. It's,
Matt, I think it has a lot to do with
I'm
your.
I'm alone most of the fucking time, and I'm constantly trying to just not.
What it is the manosphere. I hear so much bullshit in the manosphere about like how you gotta get a big, you know, you gotta chew. There's a gum Arabic to make your jaw, you know, twice as big. You gotta lift. You gotta put lifts in your shoes. That's such bullshit. That stuff is. I know that's such nonsense because of the guys I see with women. They all look effeminate.
No, but my question is, why do you lighten up a little? I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm just wondering why you aren't lightened up.
I see guys who are inferior to me, in many respects. You know, life seems to get handed to them, whether it's their corporate job, whether it's their women. And yeah, maybe I should actually lighten up a bit in a lot of respect. You're right about that.
I would just hate to be that serious all the time. It would drive me nuts. It would make me feel like shit. It's depressing. That's why I'm asking. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem very fun. That's why I'm just, you know what I mean?
Well, I just kind of had.
If you're hearing me if you're hearing me, I would say that to you, bro. I know you got a lot of anger built up, but you know what I mean? Don't take yourself so seriously either, man. Try to fucking lighten it up just a little. Do whatever you want, but. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got.
Yeah, like, we are trying to solve serious issues, Matt. We're trying to solve serious issues.
Serious, but I get what you mean. We're talking about serious issues, but you can still have fun with it. Like, at the end of the day, bro, we're all dead. We're all fucking dead.
If I want to have fun, I'll be playing Minecraft right now. I'll be playing Fortnite right now. Why can't you?
So every serious issue isn't even a serious issue at the end of the day. It's serious in the here and now, but eventually we're not even going to be here in the here and now.
So it's like
it's like taking a game too serious, dude. It's like there are times to take the game seriously, but then there are times you're like, dude, we gotta just have fun because this game is just a fucking game.
You know what I think it is. What I think it is that like, I can only speak on myself. I mean, I think I don't meet people like you guys on a daily basis. So I mean, I think you guys actually talk about the issues that most people think about but aren't are too scared to talk about. So I mean, to me, it's like pretty serious. I mean, like I really enjoy talking to you guys. So I mean, maybe that's why I'm a bit too serious. But like generally, I'm like a pretty funny guy. I mean, I like to laugh just as much as like anyone else. But I mean, I don't know. I just think it's interesting to talk on this level, because most people just want to talk about the fucking weather or politics or just pointless shit.
Do you guys ever like I know most of us here were not like coveting being the whatever you wanted, the CEO at whatever ABC corporation. Do you guys ever feel irritated though when people are in the corporate world, maybe they're successful on the surface and that they're in a shit ton of debt, and they're kind of drones, like their whole day is at this office, and they'll ask you what you do.
Bro, you sound like a drone though right now. To be fair, I like you. You're a good guy, but you're sounding like a drone right now, dude.
It's a complicated question.
You don't sound far off from these guys.
Come on.
Just being real.
Yeah, but,
Let him finish.
I'm sorry. I'm just.
We're working these. They'll ask you, "Oh, what do you do?" And it's like,
right.
And I don't want to fucking answer because one side of me
just
doesn't
troll
want to
them. Just troll them.
They don't
troll them. Just troll them, dude. That's what I just fucking troll these robots. Sometimes they'll snap out of it, like for a second. Like just troll them.
Just troll them. This guy might be your next employer.
Don't even let them affect your mental state like that, dude. What do you do?
Town.
Oh, I work at fucking McDonald's and I pick up horse shit. I don't know. I'm in porn. I suck dick. Like, just whatever, dude.
Yeah.
I don't do anything. I'm broke.
If you're in a small town, broke. This guy might be your next employer someday. So you don't want to troll people when you're it's like with online dating. It's like you got to realize that in online dating, you are messing up. You might be messing up your reputation in a small town. Like it's like you don't know if these girls you're talking to on the online dating site might be at your job interview months from now. And they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's this weird horn dog from Tinder." Don't hire that guy.
Espeo. I think Matt is unemployable. I mean, but that's the great thing about him. That's the great thing about him, that he's unemployable. I mean, yeah, maybe if he were to go back into the trades,
what do you mean?
Like I heard, like apparently you're good with plumbing and like home improvement work and stuff like that, and like. Didn't you?
Yeah, I used to be an electrician. And
exactly.
Yeah, I can do all that shit. Yeah, what?
Like what I'm trying to say.
You just do the fucking job. They don't care about the sport.
Exactly. Yeah.
You just do the job.
But I thought we already concluded that putting Matt in like a corporate environment that's pretty much.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it's pointless because I mean.
It's pointless. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I think the first HR rep that Matt talks to will probably, I don't know.
Okay,
but we're talking to all men.
No, a lot of them like me, dude. No. Back up. A lot of HR reps are a lot more fearful than you guys. I think you're letting on. Some of them are like drone fucks, but a lot of them are like women that actually have more of a sense of humor and laugh around than most of the other drone fucks in the office. So honestly, a lot of HR fucking ladies think I'm funny. They like how like carefree I am and shit.
Yeah, because the HR ain't
women
doing
in general, dude.
They don't do any work.
They don't do any work. They just joke around all day, dude. Women in general at the office, dude, women in general at the office joke around a lot, dude. I had more fun. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I worked at a fucking office, I hated working with men in an office. They were fucking boring drones. Not all guys. I had some cool guys to work with. But by and large, men at offices, men at work are so fucking serious, dude. I loved working with women more often than not.
The company depends on those men to pull, because they're pulling 80% of the weight. They're doing most of the work.
Maybe. It depends on I'm talking office work, but like a lot of the women joke that they didn't give a fuck. They were more carefree. I could joke with them more. Like
they were. Yeah, the women at work they take 20 minutes break.
I didn't do anything either, dude. I didn't do anything either, dude. I didn't. Espeo, you're a fucking moron if you work hard at your office job. I didn't do shit either, dude. These women probably did more than I did, dude. I'm being real. Like they worked harder than I did, and they still joked around. Some of them didn't work hard at all, but like I was on their level.
Well, as a woman, your employer's going to be able to afford them joking around doing stuff. But as a guy,
then why did they afford me to do it? Why did they afford me to do it?
What was that?
Then why was I afforded to joke around? I kept
I
on
don't
equal
know.
levels then.
In my experience as a guy, like you're not allowed to take 20-minute breaks. You're not allowed to slack off. As a guy in an office, you are the one pulling the weight. You're not there to hang out.
I feel like you have to be high IQ as a guy to joke around in an office. So you're probably higher IQ than if you're saying you were joking around with these women. I don't think I've got the IQ to thrive in an office environment like that. Like that's why I do blue collar type shit in the day, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Matt, are you doing anything to generate income like right now, or?
No. I left my shitty factory job and I've been doing work for my sister, electrical work. She said there's some other people in her neighborhood that want to hire me for electrical work, so I might do work for them. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, yes and no.
Not everyone can apprentice to be an electrician. Like I have serious doubts I could even grasp the most basic concepts of that shit. I think my
of what electrical.
Like I don't think my IQ's. I think I'm all right brain, which is all that's the creative art side of IQ.
It's not dude. You can grasp, but it's not rocket science. It's just basic electrical shit.
In high school, I couldn't get through. I went every lunchtime for extra help with the teacher for algebra, trigonometry, chemistry. I couldn't grasp any of that shit. This was grade 11. Like I had to cheat to pass that shit.
Yeah, but we're talking about just house wiring. I mean, dude, like, can I? I'm gonna hop on this in a little. I'm gonna get off right now. Is that cool?
Yeah, all right, that's cool, man.
All right, man.
Is First still coming in, by the way, or? I don't know. He hasn't added me on Discord, so I don't know. But anyway,
I can bring him in when he's ready. He said he'd be on pretty soon.
I mean, if he wants to. I mean, like, I don't think I've ever talked to him, so this would be first. But,
nice pun.
But anyway,
how do I?
Go ahead.
Did we make him mad? Or I think he's always mad.
I don't know. No, I think you just have to genuinely do something, but
He's not mad.
no, I don't think we pissed him off. I think it's pretty hard to piss Matt off.
I think he's always like that.
He was just going out when people were talking.
So drunk.
I'm gonna invite First on if you don't mind, Steve.
No, that's no problem. Go ahead. But Drunk Hulk, how long have you been doing this art thing now?
Since the end of 2016.
Okay. All right. Oh, so that's not even that long. That's like 4 years.
Right, so the 7 sales were people I didn't know. Other sales really count.
You seem to be cutting out, but
Is that me? What is? I hear a ringing sound.
yeah, that's Discord. First is adding, or Espeo added first, or no, first didn't.
Maybe get your ears checked for tinnitus. Have you gone to have your hearing checked?
No, I just think it's Drunk Hulk. You're not too familiar with Discord yet, right?
He's got ringing in his ears.
I don't know. His mic keeps cutting out, but anyway.
Maybe I'm covering my mic or something with my hand. Laptop.
Yeah, you got to be careful of that.
Yeah, that's probably it. I don't know where it's low. It's a MacBook. I have no idea where the mic is on it. That's why, beginning of the stream, it's why I apologized for my video quality.
A MacBook, so shit, you're kind of a drone then.
Yes, so. Well, but I bought it used, so I'm not gonna pay full price for this.
Okay, no, I was just kidding.
You gotta consider I don't have a lot of technical requirements. Like I'm not gaming. I'm not fucking doing video editing. All I'm really doing is just Photoshop, CX7, for my art stuff. That's just Photoshop, really, and InDesign.
Okay, I gotcha.
Then I should be getting on actual like QuickBooks or something. I'm self-employed too.
Hey, so you can probably design logos and all that stuff, right?
It's a bit of a different. I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself proficient enough in Photoshop suites. Every time they come up with a new update and a new program, I've got to learn everything. So.
Right.
And the other thing with logo design is like, you get people in the Philippines doing logos for like $20.
Right.
My drive isn't really there. But
Right, I gotcha. Okay.
not to be negative, I'm just kind of. Also, before COVID, when I was doing the work and then my art, it's surprising how the day flies by. Intend on doing more stuff, and then the day is done. I get to sleep.
Hey man, I mean that means you love what you do, man. I mean, again, man, like I'm so happy to be on a chat with just like creative people, man. Like I really respect what you guys do. You know, like I said earlier, like I'm not creative in the traditional sense, but I certainly do something that requires creativity. You know, thinking outside the box, you know, coming up with new ways, new strategies on, you know, how to get this business thing going and how to, you know, get it forward. You know, it's it's something that makes me happy too. You know, like I know it sounds like not a lot of people would find running a business fun, but I think it's fun, man. You know, I think you know, most successful business owners, they're kind of crazy too. You know, they're kind of kooky people that, you know, always believed in something, and no matter how many people doubted them, and no matter how, they always stuck to it, you know. So, and I mean, Matt most certainly is someone like that, and I mean, I really wish him the best with what he wants to achieve, and definitely you with your art, man. I think it's something worth living for, man. Unlike, you know, 99% of other
Steve,
people.
Like Matt was saying, you gotta get the survival out of the way first. I mean, get a vehicle paid off, you know, a home. I mean, it takes a while to pay off a home, but I mean, get your mortgage in line, get stuff going so that you got your survival, your basic needs, so that when you know you get laid off because this COVID thing, or because you told your boss to F off, you know, so you get fired from your job, you have a few months to relax on, you know. Get the real survival stuff out of the way first, and then you can focus on the creative stuff. You know, I mean, in the past, in tribal societies, yeah, they only had to work like what, 4 hours. I think they say 4 hours a day. In tribal societies, they hunted or they fished for a little bit, or they grew some food for a little bit, and then they could play music and do their little festivals or whatever. But you don't have that today in the Western world. So what I'm saying is, keep the survival stuff first, and then you can do the creative. You can do the fun. Like I make long bows and recurve bows. That's my creative thing. I like to make bows out of wood and also PVC pipe. That's my creative thing. But I do it when it's a hobby to do after my work is done for the day, after I got the house clean, or whatever project I'm doing. Right now I'm doing a fence or whatever. You know, this kind of stuff. The creative stuff is secondary to me.
Oh no, of course, no, I totally agree. Of course you have to have some kind of basis to fall back on. Like you can't, like, you know, Drunk Hulk has his job, you know. I mean, like me, I guess what I do, I fully rely on it every single day, but I mean, I also work really hard. But of course, yeah, no, you have to have, you know, you have to have everything squared away, of course. I mean, it would be kind of sad if you're, you know, if you're chasing your passion and you're relying on other people for your basic survival.
Yeah,
needs.
don't be a starving artist, as it's called, the starving artist. That's not, you know, a man needs to be independent. Man needs to be able to live on his own. That's one thing.
The reason most people are starving artists is because they're not working during the day, and then the whole idea is you work do some other thing during the day, and then when your art income surpasses that, then you can think about quitting and going full time. But here's another thing: I get so irritated when I see these artists like garage sales, like selling their work for like $20. I'm like, you got to value yourself. You got to price accordingly and appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
So, or people who are giving away their art free to, it's fine to do that for your family and people you love as gifts. Don't give it away for free for some stranger in hopes that it's gonna be a promotional thing. That's, to me, that just devalues for actual living artists. But it's my opinion.
So you're saying those artists doing that are kind of ruining it for, the ones that actually.
A little bit. They're making it a little harder for us. It's not going to destroy all the hope for us. But saying those people who are charging $20 for a piece, that's what you should be charging for prints.
Hey, what's up, First?
First is here.
Oh.
Oh, I think he muted his mic.
So we got Steve from Texas channel, brand new starting here this week, and we got two people who have been highly banned from most of the channels in the Manosphere. We got Espeo and First here.
Wait, First is banned from the Bill Greyhouse show, or?
He's banned from Bill Greyhouse. He's banned from Steve Hoka.
Bill's show. I don't see the appeal to be on Bill's show. So.
Wait, why? What happened?
Jeez. I don't know. He's a senile old man.
I mean, I've been out of the loop for like 3 months. I've been on like this whole world trip thing, so I've only gotten back now.
Yeah,
so.
It's not even worth talking about it.
Right. Okay. That's cool. So what's up with you, man? You're in California, right?
Yeah, in the Bay Area.
Bay Area? Okay. How's the COVID situation over there?
It's like people forgot about COVID, honestly, with all these... See, America has a very short attention span when it comes to news cycles. So COVID is like last year. Might as well be because of all these protests and riots. So COVID's kind of been forgotten.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that here in Texas.
Protesters don't seem to be abiding by 2 meters apart or whatever in our province. No.
So first, you've been listening to the chat a little bit. Like we've been talking mostly about the goals thing. We've got a lot of people who are artists in here, some starving artists. Like, what do you think? Do you think that has a place in our life today in 2020, and or do you think more practical goals should be the focus of men today in 2020?
Well, why does it have to be either or? I mean, look, when we had the New Deal to survive out of the Great Depression, what we did, we hired all the artists to paint. We hired all the people to work, building highways. So that's what we did to get out the last depression. Why can't we do that again to get this new one? That's, the New Deal was about that. They literally hired all artists to go town to town to spring them up. There's so much we can do, but meaning these solutions that we were smart enough in the 1930s to do, we aren't smart enough now. So it is a great shame. There's room for everybody, I think.
Yeah, there's right brain people, there's left brain people. It's people are gonna be talented at different stuff. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, there was a union for all artists in the New Deal, and they shipped artists everywhere. Imagine hearing that now. Now we're such a society that's based on, social media and all that, and the marginal unit that we don't really think about that. It's all the profit line now.
What's funny is back then, being a police officer or a teacher, it was kind of like being an artist back then. It was kind of like a job that wasn't really a career. If you were a police officer or a teacher, you were looked at as kind of like an artist. Not in disrespect, but you were looked at as, okay, someone they're following their passion, they're moving around, they have to move around because there's not a lot of jobs for you as an artist or a police officer or a teacher. So but nowadays in 2020, like a police officer or a teacher, it's like, oh man, you got a career, you got a good career going for you.
Yeah, it's funny how government jobs in like the 80s and 70s were like, oh, that's the lower paid stuff, like don't go into that. And now it's like people are clawing at these jobs. It's because the economy has deteriorated for labor. labor is just not a factor anymore. That's what we're seeing is people talk about this race issue, but they really don't want to talk about the class issue at all. They don't want to talk that there's 43 million people unemployed. There's a lot more than that unemployed because a lot of people who depend on the real economy who aren't counted, they're like, they're self-employed and they depend on the incomes of others and they're not counted in unemployment stats. So we have like 50 million probably unemployed. It's pretty wacky.
Or a lot of people give up. They spend 2 years going for jobs, so they say, fuck it. I'm gonna take off unemployment. They're not counted.
Labor.
Look at the labor force.
Trump, he always used to harp, even before COVID, he always harped on about, the unemployment rate. It was so great. It's like, fuck, man. It's like looking at the
Trump is the biggest. Candidate Trump talked about how the unemployment number is fake and how it should be 20-30%. As we got closer to election season, November 2016, he used to bring that number up. He started with 20. Oh, real unemployment is 20. Then he said 30, and then when he's close to election, he said 40. And as soon as he became president, started falling. He's using that stat for him. The problem is the IQ in this country is so low. If you look at these Trump people, man, just look at a Trump gathering, and on YouTube you can find them. It's like these people, they can't put anything together, man. They're just done.
They're supporting this guy who's like lowering taxes on the rich and doing nothing for the working, the blue collar folk.
No.
And he's shitting on a gold throne like toilet, like with gold leaf covered fucking penthouse and multiple estates like Mar-a-Lago, all this shit. What's he worth again? Like 700 million on the low end or something. But people who support him are piss poor. Like they're there in their rusted out Ford Ranger pickup trucks, like their cardboard signs, like "We love Trump, we love Trump." Like, God, I just don't. The other thing is I swear, he's making single women more scared of single men.
Yeah, he is.
He's done nothing good. In 2016, when he got elected, he's like, I sent Espeo this montage where it shows at the end all these protests, and at the end it says, 2016, Trump said that we're going to see the greatest American time, or whatever he says, upcoming, and look at it. We have a pandemic, we have a depression, we have riots, and he's just. I used to think he'll get elected because Biden is. See, that's the problem. Is the Democrats are just such dog shit too. Really, Biden? Biden has also.
Andrew Yang would have been perfect.
Yeah, Biden has Alzheimer's or dementia. He can't even get a sentence straight.
Yeah, it's really strange to me that Biden is like the best that the Democrats can do because
it's like again this Hillary Clinton, like nobody, if you looked at like who the fuck supported her, the only people that voted for her were voting against Trump. They weren't voting for Hillary, they were just voting against Trump. There wasn't really there was Bernie supporters, there was Trump supporters.
It doesn't make sense to me that the Dems would even choose another establishment politician like Biden.
Yeah.
Even like I'm not even Democrat, but like I
have a non-establishment.
I thought this Asian guy, what was his name again, that was advocating for the UBI?
Yang.
Yang. He's the smartest guy.
Exactly.
He's the smartest candidate we've ever had.
He was like again, I'm not a Democrat, but like he was like the first Democrat that I actually respected, especially because he actually explained in economic terms how he wanted to make this UBI thing work.
He's the first Democrat Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro respected, and Tucker Carlson. Like he could unite people because it's a logical approach. The problem, we have an IQ problem in this country. IQ has been dropping since '80. You just have a lot of stupid people. Mm-hmm. That's really the crux of it. They can't get the eloquence of Andrew Yang. They can't look forward 5 years and say that most of you are going to be unemployed.
Yeah, it's like these sheep. They just think day to day first.
Yeah. Nah, these people. I kind of used to be on the right, but it's like you see the people. You see the people that come out. It's like, man, you guys should be fucking dead. You guys are fucking brain dead.
I wouldn't mind like a libertarian if we have like a feasible, like a high, like $1,200 a month basic income for everyone. Like, we need a floor. You can't have capitalism starting at fucking zero. Like, that doesn't account for the fact that people are going to be discriminated against. Shit happens to us. You can't just make money just solely off working hard. There's luck involved. There's all this shit. We need to be able to take care of our
Well,
rent.
Actually, the labor has been shrinking as a share of economy. It's not even the majority. It's all investment. If you keep, that's the problem. Is we have just if you keep winning, you just keep winning, and we have it's like vertical accumulation. It's like people who've won in the '80s, they continue to win, and all their politicians are establishment, and they keep their main agenda is to keep them to hold on to safeguard old wealth. What does the Federal Reserve do? It does 0% interest rates. It floods the market with money. What does that do? If you hold assets, that's great. If you're a young person, you're fucked because all those assets are continually out of reach. Everything is going. If you're a young man in this country in the West, everything is going against you. Everything.
If this were the early 90s, in Canada, banks used to pay out something like 6 or 7%. I would be able, most of my rent, I could pay for the majority of my rent. I'm not kidding you, from my savings, just the interest every year. It would have been so much easier for me, and I would have been able to focus more on my art. Like, I wouldn't have this fucking full-time work. Well, it's not full-time, but I mean, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, the government, they're so fucking sneaky. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican. They'll disguise low interest rates as relief for the common person, but it fucks over.
It's not.
Yeah,
it fucks over the common person. Yeah, you know, another problem is our politicians. They're too fucking old. If you're 79 like Biden or 78 like Trump, you don't give a shit what happens in the next 10 years. You're just trying to, play off your greed to power, the power fantasy. They don't give a fuck what happens 10 years, so they're not gonna enact things that are gonna be for the future thinking. They're just gonna kick the can down the road. They're too fucking old. We can't have these fucking old fuckers. But the problem is the baby boomers have stuff. They just control everything. They control the assets. They control everything now.
Yeah, that's true. Think about it. Who loves Trump? Nobody loves Trump more than CNN. He gives some CNN great ratings, always showing his empty podium instead of showing Andrew. What has Trump said today? But yada yada yada. Pelosi loves Trump. He's made $100 million as a lifelong civil servant. Let that fucking sink in. In government, she's made she's $100 millionaire. Right? I call it the Trump Pelosi axis of evil. It's not Republican or Democrat.
Yeah, they're both dependent on each other. Yeah, we have a two-party dictatorship basically. I mean,
yep.
It's just bread and circuses that they're fighting. The people who buy into like the left or right dichotomy and like are trying to argue one way, it's like they're kind of foolish, man. You kind of gotta take a grain of salt, and if you look at take the forest from the trees, they're both the same thing. They're both trying to protect assets of the old baby boomers.
I guess they're foolish unless they're like your upper middle class nouveau riche people who just want lower taxes, and then they go down. The ultra wealth.
That's the only upcoming the new especially here in the West Coast, like Zuckerberg and all these pieces of shit.
But guys, look, I keep telling everyone the problem isn't that rich corporations they're not paying their taxes. Like, even if they should pay their taxes, they're getting out of paying their taxes.
Their effective tax rate. If you look at America, our effective tax rate, not the tax rate, our effective tax rate is probably the lowest of all the countries because there's so many ways to skip on tax. We have this tax code that's disastrous.
You're talking about the corporate tax rate, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our effective tax rate, like people say, oh, it's too high, but it's like, look what corporations actually, there's so many ways to scheme it. There's so many ways to hire a politician by lobbying them to bring some type of tax cut or tax code or write it in or throw it in. That's why the bills are 1,000 pages.
Look, and see, this is why and I know, everybody's sick of hearing me talking about libertarianism, but look, libertarianism is geared to taking down the machine. If government weren't as big as it is now, there wouldn't be such a thing as lobbying, because then there wouldn't be any regulations in order for lobbyists to change the politicians' minds on. You understand what I mean? The problem essentially is that America turned into a bureaucratic mess that, the founding fathers never envisioned it to be this way. It's too big of a machine, and two people are too dependent on it, and it's just everywhere. It influences our lives everywhere. And this whole crony capitalism machine that so many people see, everybody always says that Republicans want small government and Republicans want lower taxes. Well, in reality, Republicans actually want they advocate for high taxes. It's just that they want to invest all the money into, you know, the military complex. You know, Republicans are big on military spending. I think every U.S. president that was a Republican always made sure that the military budget was as big as possible. Democrats, they want to make sure that all the money goes to the poor people and that, you know, to create social safety nets. See, that's the problem. It's the same shit. It's just that both sides of the spectrum, they want to spend, they want the exact same amount of money. They just want to spend it on different shit.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But they're Democrats are not effective because it doesn't go to the poor, the working poor people who deserve it, right? Like me or most of us around these TFL streams. It goes to your single mother. The more kids she has, the more benefits. It's all this means tested shit. As soon as you start making money or you have savings, they taking it all away. That's why I love basic income. Guess what? Basic income, you can automate it using infrastructure in Canada anyway, the CRA, the tax system. It can all be automated to anyone who has a social. It's SIN. In the US, it's your social security number. Basic income could be automated because you're just sending $1,000 out to everyone with a bank account.
Right, but you said you would want to do that by raising the sales tax. Now, that's something I disagree with. I thought that Andrew Yang's idea, taxing corporations for using technology and AI and
Andrew Yang's idea was a value-added tax like Europe. That was his plan to fund the $2 trillion that would require to do the UBI for $1,000.
But I thought he said that he wanted to I guess he also wanted to create an additional tax on multinational companies that use technology and AI.
Very light. When asked, if you go look at his interview, Ben Shapiro or anybody else, it's called VAT, just like what Europe does.
Yeah, value-added
tax.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his main. That's going to be the bulk of your. The problem is.
So in other words, that would be like a federal sales tax, basically.
Yeah. So
just like Europe has it, we would kind of become like this union. We're already kind of a union in a way, and we just have that value-added tax. The problem is look, here's the problem. A billionaire, he only consumes one pair of pants and one shirt, let's say, while 1,000 poor people, they produce 1,000 of that. You consume 1,000 of that, yet their incomes are alike. 1,000 poor people equals this rich guy's income. So who's really bulk of the tax? 99% of the tax is, again, on the poor.
Yeah, of course, especially since, the majority of the income for wealthy people are dividends and capital gains. So, there wouldn't be any, like the VAT wouldn't affect them as much as, middle income and lower income people.
Yeah, exactly. See, what the rich are looking for is for land, licensing rights, houses, tangible assets that aren't under the VAT.
Exactly, capital gains.
I'd say you gotta go after these people that what should be taxed heavily is when you try to do investment property, because that's the whole reason we have such high housing prices, because people that have the money, they're buying when people go broke and they sell their assets for 20% off. These rich corporations like BlackRock, they come in and buy cash, these rich people's money, and they're just accumulate houses, and then on top of that you keep accumulating because now you have more rent. So now you have more property, and now property value goes up because you hold more too. So you can sell. That's what BlackRock does. It sells one at a time in a neighborhood of like 10. So the whole price, you have all this empty inventory, and if you do, you have pressure. You have pressure on the market because you have low supply. Mm-hmm. So that's the problem. We should not look at housing as an investment. That's the fucking problem.
I agree.
Of this country.
Shouldn't be encouraging. I think there's too much. Subsidization of homeownership. It's a disastrous idea. I'm all for building more, allowing red tape so we can get higher supply of housing. Well, that'll also mean we have to decrease immigration a bit as well, probably realistically. Definitely tax. I think it should be capital gains, just like income. If your property goes up in value, absolutely, because I totally agree with first on that one. Here's another. What disturbs me? I'm seeing plans from some of these big corporations to create called co-living places towards people
That's big here. Big where I'm at.
Dystopian. These fuckers want to charge like $1,000 for a fucking room. It's like a glorified flop house.
Cool.
It's a Gen Z millennial, this get together. It's really disgusting. It's back to the bunkhouses of the 20s, or actually the Industrial Revolution, where the worker was just working 80 hours. His kid was working. They lived in these fucking bunkhouses. It's Upton Sinclair's The Jungle. It's just ridiculous. We're going back to that, and then they try to put a positive spin on that.
It's neoliberalism on steroids. I'm sure the New York Times is going to put a positive spin on it. I'm sure.
See, but the left, they do this. They do the same thing as the right by disenfranchising the worker. They just put a spin like, oh, it's equality. You guys all get to live together. It's great. You know, they just have their way of packaging things, but it's the same shit. The packaging, they're just different packaging. Republican or Democrat, the same fucking garbage.
Yeah, it's like how they use identity politics to distract from the fact that they never talk about how 80% of the country is living paycheck to paycheck in the U.S. Canada's not far behind. We're getting there. We're catching up, guys.
Guys, I mean, listen, you guys all seem like very intellectual people, man. So, like, wouldn't you guys agree with the fact that all the problems that we see around us, the richer getting richer, the poor being kept poor, you know, the United States military basically being a terrorist organization, don't you guys see that all these problems are being created because of government? I mean, if it weren't for the U.S. government, there wouldn't be such a complicated tax code for businesses to be virtually paying 0% corporate tax.
That's too surface level. It goes way deeper. The rabbit hole goes deeper than that. I mean, there's much deeper issues at hand that are being disguised as, oh, it's government. Yes, government's a big factor, but it's not the number one factor.
No, it always boils down to government. I mean, minimum wage keeps people poor, believe it or not. I mean, you know, welfare keeps people poor. These are all government. This is all legislation made by the government.
Steve, if you got rid of the government, you would have. I mean, here in California, we got gangs. We got Mexican cartel gangs that have they have better weaponry than SWAT teams.
Yeah,
in California.
But I mean, Espeo and
someone would fill the void. If you lose one power structure, which is government, another power structure will come, be it gangs or maybe another country would come in, or but something always fills the void of power.
Well, I have two arguments
libertarianism. Libertarianism is so out of the fucking question. You write this down on a note and put it, and then pick it up in 30 years. That's the last thing that would ever happen, because you need the whole globe to follow that. Because if America goes libertarian, then the Chinese and everybody else encroaches, because you have a weak central system.
I mean, that is a fair point, but I mean, that doesn't change the fact that, you know, government is a big factor that creates all these problems that we see around us, man. I mean, imagine if there wasn't...
in this chat has ever disagreed.
Huh?
I don't think anybody in this chat has ever disagreed that our current government in its current form is a problem, but to get to libertarianism, that's such a logical leap. That's not going to work. I mean, just go outside, go into major cities and look at the people. You cannot have a non-violent, no-force society with these type of people.
Yeah, but don't you think that if the government was smaller, okay, and if we had more individual freedoms, don't you think more trust would develop in communities? Don't you think communities would get to come together more easily if they're... Just the mere fact that there's a duopoly between Republicans and Democrats, that in itself already creates friction. That already creates tension. That already...
You know why trust is falling in America is because America is becoming a melting pot. When you cannot have a melting pot.
I think it's government. I think it's government. Well, I mean, the government creates the... By the way, the government creates the melting pot, by the way. The government is the reason why America is a melting pot, by the way.
Libertarians want a melting pot. They want open borders.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with someone being black or white or green or wherever they're from. That's not the problem.
No, there's nothing wrong with it, but...
It doesn't work on a mass scale. We can have a good culture where you can go visit Africa and see African people. Yeah, that's great, yeah. But when you mix these, they don't work based on human biology. Why do libertarians always avoid human biology? That shit is never. It's just so out of. This Andrew Yang stuff is more on point because that has a way more fucking. That has like a 50%. We're talking about lottery chances here of libertarianism. Like I don't know, like Stefan Molyneux. Like yeah, he's a brilliant guy. I like hearing him, but in the end, you don't realize that our IQ has been falling. It doesn't work. It might work in Scandinavia. There's only 5 million people, and that are decently high IQ, but not here. It would never work in America.
Yeah, this is something that when you and Ron had your debate about libertarianism and fascism, one thing that Minnie Rodriguez here bringing up is that in the chat she said libertarianism only works if you have everyone high empathy, high IQ. They don't want to do wrong to their neighbor. They don't want to take advantage of their neighbor. Yeah, that's gonna. But the thing about anytime you get closer to anarchy, it's not good for men, because the thing about when you have closer to anarchy, you have a lot of men seeking vigilantism. You have men trying to they don't have a complaints department. They don't have a court to take their neighbor to. So you get a lot of vigilantism. So means you get a lot of males dying. It's not good for males having less government.
I don't agree with that. There would be a court. Why wouldn't there be a court in a libertarian society?
Well, Steve, it's just like I have a tree. My neighbor cuts the tree, half of it, and the other half is over my house, literally. And because we have this kind of freedom society, I don't have a court to go take it to say, hey, my neighbor just cut their damn 100-foot tall pine tree and it's hanging over my house. Can you do something about it?
No, of course, in a libertarian society, he encroached on your personal property rights. So of course you could sue his ass.
I know I have no recourse. I've talked to lawyers.
See, I can't. I have realize like this works in a TFL chat. This is never gonna work. Have you talked to do you go to Los Angeles and talk to the people on the streets? Go to these protests and talk. Like this type of thinking will not work. They don't think like this. They're not at that IQ.
Yeah, but these homeless people in Los Angeles, these are the result of the current government, man.
They don't realize that libertarian would the people would go feral in a libertarian society, like we're seeing now. You pull out the police and look at these protests. They just go feral and burn down their own fucking neighborhoods.
Yeah, I know, but these riots exist because of the government, because of government regulations. Because of police.
I think Steve. I think everyone's got their own. Everyone's got their own opinions because
that's the government. That's the government. That's the government. There's so many. No, it's not all black and white. It's the government. It's like no. There's so many underlying issues. The most underlying issues that we're reaching a freaking ceiling on resources. The resources per capita per person has been going down steadily. Oil, every mineral, it's going down. That's the main. We have a big overpopulation overshoot problem.
Yeah, that's
biting us in the ass. That's the main fucking problem. Not government or not government. That's the main fucking problem. And even a libertarian society, 7 billion people won't fucking find a way. It'll be a fucking bloodbath. Bloodbath more than this, too.
Bill seems to think that the powers that be that want to curb, that want to reduce the population, part of what's to blame for this whole TFL thing. I think the lower population mean more resources for each of us and less stress, right? Less working. You guys.
Yeah.
I do think we're in a big major, and the government subsidizes population in a way. It is true. They help out these single mothers that pop out all these kids in the minority groups. It's true. If you eliminate government, these people would, they would be very fucking desperate. So I'd like to see a big reduction of the massive government. Yeah, but to claim that libertarianism is the be all end all, no.
I mean, I just want to be clear. Obviously, I do believe there should be a limited form of government. I'm not saying take the whole thing down.
Not libertarian.
If anything, I think, I mean, it would start out with decentralization. Okay, definitely the federal government should, I think it shouldn't even exist, but I mean, it should definitely be way smaller than it is now. I think a lot of issues can be organized, on a decentralized basis. I mean, that's number one. And I mean, I just think that the massive bureaucratic machine has just gotten out of hand, man. And I think that's a large part of the problem, man. That's the large part why poverty exists. It's a large part why
it's not the largest problem at all. It's not if you even fix this system, we'd still have the same poverty. So poverty is just going to exist no matter what because it's a material thing, and we're talking about magic in the air. What we're talking about does not tangibly exist. We have a materialistic reality on Earth that resource abundance is going down at a massive scale, and there's no solution for hydrocarbons. All this green technology is not solving anything. And to convert to this type of, it requires massive centralization to convert a whole grid to run sustainably. So we're just an overshoot problem. It's a myriad of problems we're facing, and the major one is the resource issue.
That's what
I'm seeing.
And you mentioned that another problem is multiculturalism.
Yeah, if you look at it, we come around at the tribes. Multiculturalism is just it's a globalist type of ideal that the only reason we have it is because they want to disenfranchise the worker. They want cheaper labor. How do you do that? You do multiculturalism. Multiculturalism allows people to undercut everybody else. It becomes individualistic because you're not from a small town where you have family members and you have this long dynasties. You're competing with everybody else. It becomes very cutthroat.
Yeah, but guess who enables this? The government. The government enables this through those H-1B1 visas and importing, programmers and.
It's true.
Oh, don't blame the government. I mean, libertarianism they're the first people in line to support incoming workers.
But Espeo, our government right now is enabling it. So what's the difference? I mean, it's the same thing about monopolies.
Libertarians are for open borders.
Yeah, but I mean, what's our current system doing differently? They're enabling it too. Also, monopolies are inadvertently being created by the government. You do understand this, right? Through crony capitalism. In other words, big companies go to politicians and say, "Hey, look, we're going to pay you this much money to change the rules in our favor," and that right there is forming a monopoly. How do you think GM, Chrysler, all these car companies are, got away with making such shitty cars and still surviving through bailouts, through crony capitalism? I mean, it all goes back to the government. The government is enabling this shit. And if the government wasn't there, these problems
don't you think that our government should have tariffs on other people so that other nations so that they support our jobs over other people's jobs? Don't you think that we should be supporting our neighbors' jobs? So we should be supporting GM, Chrysler. Isn't there a reasoning for that? Don't you want to see your neighbor working over someone in China, a factory in China working?
Yeah, but I was talking about monopolies. What if you want to start a car company? That's virtually impossible. Why? Because the government is helping out GM. The government is making sure GM and Chrysler is Chrysler not anymore, but GM is a monopoly. You understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody always says that monopolies
governments have always stepped in when monopolies take place and try to split them up. If you look at the 1800s.
No. The reason monopolies exist is because of government. Look, you have two.
No, monopolies were worse.
Pacific Bell had to be split up by the government. They were pretty much of a power block. They were like the modern Google. I mean, in the past, Pacific Bell, which split up to AT&T, and then I'm not sure what else, but they were split up by the government. But you had stuff like Bell Labs, and Bell Labs was so innovative and so transformative that it was like Area 51 of the private world, and it was very worried to central powers that, hey, this is just going to be a one major fucking monopoly taking over the whole communications.
Yes. If you didn't have government to come in and split up these corporations, the monopolies would not end. The billionaires would become trillionaires like overnight if you didn't have government to come in, step in, and say, "Okay, you've gotten too big. We gotta split you guys up." This is, I mean, have you ever heard of factory towns?
Yeah.
Back in the 1800s.
Okay.
This is what happens when you have a corporation that is unabated by government.
Yeah, but again, regardless of that, I mean, why do you think Amazon is a monopoly? Because it works together with the government. Why do you think Google is a monopoly? Because it works together with the government. Yeah, I know lately they've been they passed some kind of social media law or something like. I didn't read into it too much, but at the end of the day, Facebook wouldn't be as big as it is without government support. So, fact of the matter is that government creates monopolies. I know it sounds counterintuitive at first.
How does the government support Facebook?
What do you mean? I mean,
you said the government
supports Facebook. How does the government support Facebook?
Isn't it clear as day? I mean, the government is a client of Facebook. The government buys data from Facebook.
That's like
a very small amount of Facebook's overall. Most of their stuff is on advertisement and
Facebook is a government contractor.
But if you didn't have
government, you have some other entity buying. You know, like you have multiple entities buying information from Facebook. I mean, the government is like 1% of that.
Yeah,
they're not.
Well,
they're not. You can go make a social media app right now. As long as people pick it up, you would fly.
Yeah, well, what's the likelihood of that? I mean, that's like.
Well, I think it's much more likely than starting a business of creating vehicle or cars, automobile industry. I think it's much more easier to start an app as a isolated corporation than it is to like start a car company.
Yeah, that brings me to another point. I mean, the only vehicle company as of late is Tesla, and the only reason they can compete with anyone is because of the government, because Elon Musk is government subsidized. See, look, the main point is that I just don't understand why it's clear as day that all the problems with society that we see, boils back down to government. It does.
No,
I mean, I can go.
No, it doesn't. If you got the government, there wouldn't be more ores of copper in the fucking earth. It doesn't boil down to government's a big problem. I agree with you, but it's not the main fucking problem. And that's why if anybody hears this, they're gonna get turned off of libertarianism because they're gonna realize we have way more fucking issues on earth than that. But you eliminate government tomorrow, nothing will change. In fact, it will get way worse. I guarantee you. There will be more deaths. It just doesn't fucking work when you have IQ lowering for multiple decades. Like you compare it stuff with Molyneux all you want, but if things were optimal, yeah, maybe it would work, but things are not.
Yeah,
we have likeliness of a fascist or a socialist. That's way more fucking likely than anything else. A libertarian, that's like dead and gone. That might work in a small town in Montana, but for this hyper individualistic, this hyper connected society with all its tech, it's like I don't see it. The principles are there, yeah. Non-aggression principle, the non-use of force. It's like, yeah, that's great, but it just doesn't fucking work. It doesn't translate. It's like it's a Christianity. The Christian. It's like, yeah, it's great, yeah, but it doesn't translate. It just doesn't work.
Drunk Hulk, do you have any sense on this? Do you have any thoughts on the libertarian thing?
I mean, I think government bureaucracy is definitely an issue. That's why I think I tend to harp on about basic income a lot. Like I said, it can be automated. I need to pay all these bureaucrats to sit around and push paper.
Yeah. But UBI would be. You'd think it increases centralization, but it would remove a lot of it because it would stop these politicians from divvying up the welfare. There'd be no debate anymore to be had. It would really go against the central government in a way. It would help people decentralize.
First, I just think it's kind of just hypocritical because I mean, guys like Bill Greathouse, they talk about, no one should be able to tell another guy what to do. No one should be able to tell someone what to do. But you know what? Even in a total extreme libertarian anarcho society, back then, let's say you let your house go to shit, you let the weeds grow 5 foot tall. Even if you didn't have like a big government system 100 years ago, you would have Bubba and his 3 brothers come over to your house and they say, "What you doing letting your house go to shit, bro? Or what you doing?" It's like, and they would tell you, "Hey, you need to like clean up your yard, or else we'll take you out back."
Forfeiture. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, but Espeo,
so no matter if you don't have government, Steve, you don't have government, you're gonna have another power structure to get taken over. No matter if it's a gang or Bubba and his 3 brothers down the street, you're gonna have some kind of power structure no matter what. This is human nature. It has nothing to do with government, whether it's government or not. You're gonna have a power structure taking over, just like a prison yard.
Yeah, but for some reason, Espeo, you keep neglecting the fact that, I mean, of course there would be a police force in the libertarian society. I mean, what makes you think there wouldn't be a police force?
And that's not a
Libertarian society, because the police requires force to enact its rules.
Yeah,
a
but
a total libertarian society requires no initiation of force. Like, dude, you need to go listen to Stefan Molyneux, because you're not even talking about libertarian. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I know exactly
what you yourself are not talking about libertarianism.
I know exactly what the non-aggression principle is, and I know exactly what a non-coercive government is.
We need a police force. That's not libertarianism, then.
Yeah, but there would be privatized police forces. Look, just because you live in a libertarian society doesn't mean you can't break the law. For some of you guys,
wait, privatized police forces? That sounds like Blackwater, or what?
Exactly. So you'd have another central power structure. Again, I don't know. It's such a waste of time to discuss this, because anything else is more likely than that. It's more likely that tomorrow I will win the lottery, and I will discover.
Yeah, let's talk about men. How does this affect men today?
All right, yeah.
I mean. Well, let's go off the libertarian thing. What do you think? How
the principles are sound, but it doesn't work in this current reality. Maybe on some other planet where the Kaminoans from Star Wars, where they're all high fucking IQ and they live in these cities above the water, it's like, yeah, libertarian probably works there, man. But for the human race, that's very infantile and kind of fucking retarded, compared to what we ideally would want out of a society, out of a race of beings. It just doesn't work. It worked with higher tier beings for sure.
Yeah.
For sure,
well, it worked throughout 99% of the entire duration of mankind. I mean, it worked before.
No. Most of humankind was under a king.
It worked before the Roman Empire.
A church or under something, some kind of authority.
Oh my god, dude.
99%. Libertarianism is mostly a very recent thing in the last 500 years. They started with like John Locke, the French Revolution. This is a very recent thing. And by the way, it's preceded the downfall of the European race once we started going to this freedom thing.
Well, okay, not libertarianism as we understand it, but I mean non-government. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and we all
most of the human race didn't live with the government.
The current government, as it stands, is a big fucking issue.
And it's a very new thing. It's only 400 years old? No, I mean, I guess it depends on what government you're talking about, but it's a very, very recent thing, and it's causing all these problems. So I mean, it should be evident that the government is the problem.
Steve, let me bring this back to TFL real quick.
All right, yeah. All right, we're going to change the subject now. I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say we're going to change the subject now. I mean,
well, let me bring it back to TFL. Why is it all these TFL guys, all right, Bill Greathouse and stuff, they're so into, we can't tell another person what to do. We can't tell men or women what to do. But then they have the right to complain about, okay, this they support libertarianism, but then on the other side of the mouth they're saying, okay, well, I can't tell someone what to do, but men and women should be getting together in their 20s. They should be starting families. They should be doing it. But then but having an authority, whether it's a church or elders or a king or something like that, having them telling them what to do, no, you can't do that. Do you see the hypocrisy there?
Well, I mean, just like dating and picking.
Agree to disagree.
We're
just gonna go in circles here.
I mean, dating and picking partners, that's something that's up to everyone individually. I mean, you can't force anyone to be together. I mean, I don't see how one relates to the other. I mean,
Steve, you don't get the whole reason we have TFL is because we decentralized the dating market. Is because I'm making a whole fucking hour-and-a-half documentary on that is out on forced monogamy. You get TFL because human race is polygamous. It's not what the fuck is it? It's not monogamous at all. Our biology it's like chimpanzees. The top 20% monopolize all the females. And that does not lead to a stable society. The only reason we got a stable society is because of Christianity coming out of the West to give every man one woman. And that's how we got so much progress. That's how Europe prevailed over everybody else, over the all the tribals. It's
but that's
not one man for every woman.
That's not natural,
that's
though.
Forced monogamy.
Yeah.
It's not natural. We're not. Humans aren't built to be natural. We that's why we have HVAC. That's why we built cities. We're better than that. All of our history is to trump nature. If you, yeah, exactly. It is not natural. We shouldn't be natural. I like to have clothes and heat and cool and the technology that we have. Some of the technology is good, some of it's bad, but most of it's progressed us.
Well, I mean, I agree that enforced monogamy is a good thing, but I mean, that's just simply not a thing of the time. It's just simply not a thing anymore. I mean, like how would
the problem,
like how would
Steve,
you
the
want to
problem with that
change
is,
this? I mean,
monogamy only works if it's pressured by some kind of societal force, a king, a church,
females need to
something.
be nurtured. Yeah, the females
men
are
too.
what goes with the herd.
so in other words, you
men too.
so in other words, you want to force people or force women to get with men?
No,
That's what I'm
we
hearing
don't.
here.
No, exactly. You're just doing a straw man. You're doing a logical fallacy. What we want is to regulate. We want to not have one man monopolize every woman. If you're going to have a woman, you're going to have one, and that's it. That's enforced monogamy. It doesn't say that you have to pair up this A and B. See, that's a misnomer that, oh, you guys want to control. It's not really control. We just want to limit the brutal of nature of the human race. We want to, because it's like we want to limit killing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, maybe I want to go kill someone, but that's limited by the police.
And I mean, you want to enforce this through legislation and police enforcement?
Steve, I know you were going to say that, Steve, but hold on. Steve, I know you were going to say that, but look, this was enforced
sounds a bit
when you
extreme,
had this, when you had your perfect society. This was enforced by Bubba and his three brothers. Be like, are you cheating with my, you're supposed to be with my sister. What are you doing? Are you cheating with her? And they would string him up on a rope. Okay, so this was enforced in your perfect libertarian society. It just wasn't enforced through legislation. It was enforced by Bubba and his three brothers.
Yeah, but dude, this has nothing to do with libertarianism. I mean, this is like, I mean, like, what does this?
It is outside of the scope, but that's the main issue of TFL.
Okay, I understand that.
You have to have enforcement. You have to have enforcement. Libertarianism is more about the economy and the way humans interact. But
I mean, you guys say libertarianism will never be a thing. I mean, I can guarantee you that what you guys are talking about, that will most certainly never be a thing. I mean, trust me. I mean,
it's already a thing. It was already a thing. It came up in the Islamic State. It comes up. There's different countries in it.
Back in the day, before social media, before women basically. Before it was easier for women not to get laid. Yeah, then it maybe was a thing.
No.
The Islamic State, look, it rose up. It took out chunks of Iraq and Syria because those states were fucking weak. And what did it do? It had an enforced. It kind of didn't have an enforced monogamy, but it had way. What's the main line of the Islamic State? It's to put every woman in burqas and to regulate the sexual market. They regulate the shit out of the sexual market. And look at all the men from the West that dropped everything. They dropped fucking everything, and they went over there to fight. They had more foreigners than Arabs fighting for them. They still do. So no, it does come back. It did exist for from 2013 to about 2017 before they totally lost all control of territory. And there's states that do have it. There's states that are way more enforced than the United States. The United States isn't just the world. There's way more enforced societies that are more prosperous now for the average male.
Yeah, but
even China is way more enforced monogamy than the United States. I mean, you still have old cultural norms where the grandparents they go out on the weekends and they meet each other and they swap portraits of their kids and they try to pair their kids up. It's not they're not having one man pair every woman up. What are these grandparents doing? It's one man per one woman, and they're enforcing it through the Chinese culture. And America doesn't have that. America has a deregulated sex market, and that's why we have TFL. That's why we have fucking riots. That's probably the main reason we have riots is because you have all these disenfranchised men. You're telling me that men would go out and fucking burn shit and destroy their own neighborhoods if they had a loyal female by their side? No,
they'd be cutting the grass on the weekend.
Yeah,
they'd be cutting the grass.
A part of the reason is because once you deregulate the sexual market, this is what happens. You get a bulk of men that are disenfranchised. And they have no longer any value they don't have anything to gain from society to be. They might as well go be an anarchist.
Well, look, I mean, I'm sorry. I feel for TFLers just as much as anyone else does, man. But I think that regulating love and attraction, that's just not going to work because look, even
We've
those
done it before.
And it worked. We did it in the 50s, and it worked.
no,
And
no,
the
no, no,
Allison
no,
was
no,
possible.
because even
love
these
love is a Disney fantasy thing. Most people in 1800s and back, they got together for survival purposes. They needed to make children. They needed hands on the farm. They needed a retirement plan. They didn't have 401ks, so they reproduced and got with someone.
You're
And
not
men
supposed
and
to
women
Love
stuck with
someone,
their
you're supposed to
partner.
tolerate them as long as you tolerate each other. That's how it works.
Exactly. Yeah. Now today, love is entertainment. Today, it's like, oh,
Love
him,
is just a Hollywood term, man.
he or she is. Oh, they're not doing enough for me. They're not doing this for me. They're not doing enough for me. I'm gonna and then her girlfriends at work or his guy friends at work. Oh, well, just get another one. You know, just divorce or get another one. It's an entertainment today. It's not survival.
I mean, I can see now why Bill Greyhouse kicked first off the show because, I mean,
I never
Was on his show. There's no point in interacting with Bill Greathouse. He's a very senile old man that really has nothing to add to conversation. He's so behind the times that it's just there is no point to him. I
Okay,
never
right,
had
right,
him on
yeah.
the show. There's no even to
right,
you know,
okay,
there's no way to even interact with him. There's no reason to.
right, okay, I understand. Okay, no, I mean, this all is new to me. I mean, like, it's quite bizarre actually because I mean, I know.
to me too.
And that's why I'm making a documentary on it, because 2 years ago, or I did not know this stuff, and I would not, if you told me that stuff, I would not. I only came to the conclusion through personal experience that verified it, and then I see this replicated over and over and over again. And then hey, I have in my documentary, I have multiple fucking studies of sample sizes of 2,500,000, statistically sound, and it proves what we're talking about. It proves that once you get rid of monogamy, most of the male gender is just fucked.
Yeah. I had a video back when I had a channel a long time ago on it was a study. It went into 86 different societies, both in the past, going back to Roman times, and both in present times, like tribal societies on islands, and looking at 86 societies. The societies that did have monogamy, they were considered like culture, able to conquer their neighbors. They were able to stay stable. They were able to keep their food supplies through the winter. They were able to conquer their neighbors. Societies that left the hard monogamy, and by the way, hard monogamy. I mean, we don't have hard monogamy here. I mean, just because we have like a soft monogamy in some ways.
We used to have that. We don't even have soft monogamy anymore.
No, now it's just whatever you want. But I mean, this kind of hard monogamy society forces you. Okay, you marry this person, you stick with him. You stick with him or her. That was hard monogamy. Soft monogamy is like, okay, you marry someone, then I'm not happy anymore. 10 years later, I'm gonna find someone else. That's soft monogamy. Once the society leaves the hard monogamy, it's over. That society is either within 3 generations. It says. It's going to either be conquered or they're going to just destroy themselves.
Yep.
Look, I understand what you guys are saying, but look, at the end of the day, and I'm going to tell you guys, when my grandmother was still alive, she once straight up told me, she said, you know what, Steve, the only reason I married your grandfather is because he had a stable government job. Back then, he was a mailman. I forgot what he did, but he had a government job, with the retirement plan, everything. And she told me that's the only reason she married my grandfather. And then she started listing all the guys back in her day that she would have rather been with. So, yeah, enforced monogamy, it might work, but that won't change the fact that women will still, on a biological level, yearn for all the hot guys, for the Chads.
No.
Yeah, that's part of nature.
Okay, that's
part of nature.
We're not trying to change that. We're just trying to. It's just like, hey, you can't take the satiation that hey, people want to fucking kill each other, but guess what? They won't. They will sit in the office job because it's regulated by the police. It's just same.
We acknowledge that it's human nature, but
we stop me putting a 12 gauge in you. That's the thing is that we have this structure that prevents me from doing that.
Yeah,
You know, it's
human
not
nature
that-
can be evil. It can
Yeah.
be twisted, but it doesn't mean that we're gonna support it. It's that we gotta put controls on human nature, because to have a civilization, we need to put controls on human nature, just like men's
Societies
evil
have
nature.
collapsed in the past, and there have been books written on it. If you look at Christianity and Islam, they talk from a perspective of societies long gone and what went wrong in those. And like the Greeks and the Romans, they've been there and they've been gone. They have their highs and lows, and they recognize that the lows, when you disenfranchise the males and you empower the females to do what the fuck they want, that's it. That's the death nail. And sure, we cannot. What you said about your grandma is on point. That's correct. We cannot change human nature, unfortunately. Maybe we will evolve eventually to be more monogamous, but so far the only thing we can do is to control it. It's
I
like
mean-
if you have
The only-
malaria. If you have
The only
malaria,
different thing would be Sparta. I think Sparta, like most historians think Sparta was a matriarchy. I mean, that would be one exception to that rule.
Yeah, but
that's such a small city state that was for a brief period in human history that it's just a kind of an outlier in its own. But yeah, I mean that's the problem. That's the problem we have in incel TFL is because a guy that's a mailman now, like your grandfather was, he can't have a woman because a woman has a higher paying job than him. She's economically stable. The only reason women married in the past is to get out of poverty because they risk poverty.
Yeah.
So that implies the fact that women need to have some limitation. They need to have.
It's almost like men marry and get with someone for love,
yeah,
but women they're kind of only interested in it if there's some kind of benefit to their life, their happiness, their lifestyle. If that's not there, I mean, they might date casually, but they're not. I mean, they got their own apartment, they got their dogs, they got their wine, they got their easy air conditioned job. They're not gonna be trying to get with someone. You know, they're just gonna casually date. A guy, even if a guy's got in his 20s or 30s or even 40s, even if he's got a good job, got his own house paid off, he's gonna still be putting effort into it.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's self-evident. It's very true.
I mean, I have to say, guys, like, this blows my mind. I mean, it's like, I can't say I agree with it. I understand that, like, it would fix a lot of problems in terms of, you know, TFL and dating and everything.
Well, that's why I make
an hour and a half documentary on it because I want to blow people's minds because it blew my mind out. At one point, I'm like, no fucking way. There's got to be something else. But that's
now,
what
first,
it really boils down
tell
to.
us about your document. Tell us how to find it and when you think it's gonna be released.
Yeah.
Well, I have like 1 hour done of it. I'm like 70% of it done. I put money into it. I put a lot of fucking time because this message needs to go out. I've seen enough male suffering. I've heard of too many suicides in my circles and then extended circles. It's too much. It's too much male suffering. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm putting time and money. I'm not making a buck from it. I'm not selling you anything. It's the reality, and it's verifiable by science. I have so many fucking academics and research from different places, from different, just the numbers, man. It's the conclusion I've gone to because I've dipped in the right, I've dipped in the middle, I've dipped in the left, I've dipped in the libertarianism, I've dipped in everything, I've dipped my toe in everything, I've read it, but this is where it all goes down. This is where the problems lie right now. And this is why we have
tell us,
TFL.
how do we find it? How do we find it on YouTube?
Just type in Inselmatics, and it'll come up. We have our first documentary up there. You know, it was made last year, and this one will hopefully blow that one out of the water because
will that release?
Put a lot more effort. Yeah, the release in a week or two.
Oh, this is your channel right here, Inselmatics.
Inselmatics. Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, first I have to say, like, obviously you're taking a very scientific view of this, and I mean, like, I totally understand all your arguments, man. But like, I think that at the end of the day, man, like, look, if you're trying to suppress freedom and this freedom of women, basically, I mean, let's be honest, that's what it is, right? I mean, at the end of the day, whatever group of people you're trying to suppress their freedom, they're going to revolt at some point. I mean, this is why feminism started in the first place, right? I mean, this is the whole reason why this whole Islamic or the whole the religion of Islam, you know, suppressing women and even stoning them. I mean, the whole reason why this fell apart is because women probably had enough of it at a certain point.
Thing is,
Women aren't biologically made to rebel. They look at their biology. They're made to go with the herd. So if your herd is going with this ideology, they will go along. Their survival mechanism, based on their biology, is to go along the herd. They will not.
Yes.
As long as there's not a majority, they will not go. It's the reason why I have an academic talking about this. The reason why feminism started is because men did it. Because men thought they would have easier access to sex, to casual sex. They wanted more. And that fucking like most things in life, that fucking went, you know, instead of helping you, it fucking was detrimental to men. Baby boomers, it worked out because of their demographics. They had very variable demographics for males back then, but now it's totally the opposite. We have a total different situation.
First, is it kind of like the you know, in France during World War II, where the French women just kind of laid down for the German officers that came in, and then once the Germans were pushed back, and then they suddenly wanted to get back to their Frenchmen? Is it kind of some of that?
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean that is a factor. I don't go over that, but yeah, it is, because what did we have? We have Vichy France, and that was a puppet of Nazi Germany, and we're Nazis now. Great. The women it's the men that stay loyal and are the resistance fighters always. It's funny they paint that there's this resistance fighter in these new video games. It's always a female. It's the males. It's the males that have to go against the grain. The women are never fucking do that. They integrate whatever. That's their biology. That's
they're
nature.
gonna sit and wait for the winner.
Exactly. Because that's biologically beneficial to them, because they can reproduce with whatever sperm. But the guy has to reproduce it as his own specific seed. So the problem is that the male and female just cannot be. They cannot be the same. It's like two different almost races. And I mean, all of our research proves this, man. I mean, the two genders are very different, and they got to be governed differently.
They have different survival. They have different survival. It's like first, and Steve and Drunk Hulk. I don't know if you're still there, Drunk Hulk, but I mean, let's say you're in a tribe of you got a tribe of 10 men and 10 women on one side of the river. You got a tribe of 10 men and 10 women on the other side of the river. Okay, the other side of the river attacks your little tribe, right? Okay, the females, they're gonna survive. I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, but they're probably gonna survive. I mean, no matter who wins. Okay, the males, if they lose, their throats are gonna get slit. Okay, so they're like, the male is more patriotic because they're like, okay, if my side loses this fight, I'm gonna get my
slit. So I might as well fight my ass off. I might as well be training every day for this battle. Okay. The female's like, okay, you know what? I mean, she might be kind of sad by it, but she's gonna survive either way. She might have
2 weeks.
Yeah, she'll get over it. Yeah, but the guy, his survival, his physical life is dependent on his side winning.
Right. Okay. I mean, guys, I gotta be honest. It's more likely for a libertarian society to exist in our lifetime than this type of world to exist. But I mean, I understand the logical arguments, man. But I just don't think it's possible.
This world
existed in the past. We've never had a pure libertarian society. That's the thing. We had this. This was the majority. The majority of what we know as Western history was based on monogamy. So no, it is likely, and there is. You can have reactionaries overnight overtake that, and women will march to the beat of whatever society is doing. If everybody goes conservative tomorrow, and that's the main, females will all of a sudden switch their fucking. It's just two different fucking minds. It's two different almost beings. The male and the female. One's got to be policed because they have a certain reproductive strategy.
Do you know that in my experience, people I know from cultures with arranged marriages, they tend for some all.
You cut out there. What's that?
I can't hear you at all.
From cultures where arranged marriages, they're normal. Set them up.
We can't hear you, man.
Yeah, your mic keeps cutting out.
It's very low.
Drunk Hulk, man, are you placing your hand before your mic again, or?
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, I think that's better.
Okay, well, I was saying that people from cultures with arranged marriage, usually TFL is not big of an issue.
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
Exactly.
of course. I mean,
it's mainly a white issue. The thing is people think that TFL is just going to be this 10-20% this, but it's not. It grows exponentially. All of a sudden you have 10 or 20%, and then overnight you have 80 to 90%. And now that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that this new generation of men that comes after me, I'm a late millennial and then Gen Z. It's like most of them are fucking TFL. And I'm very impressed how fast it's progressed, because women again march to the beat of society, and society has really fucking changed. There's all this electronic, all this social media and everything. Social media,
the lesson from that is arranged marriage. It works. Let's be honest. I mean, I have some Indian coworkers. It works great. They've been married for 5 years. They're from India. It works. I know Mexicans in my neighborhood. I mean, first year in California too. There's lots of Mexicans. It's not arranged. I mean, but the family support. The family puts the little oomph behind it. Exactly, yeah. So it's like, the white people have embraced this libertarian mindset that, I'll do whatever I want to do. I'll date whoever I want to date. I'll do whatever. I mean, if I'm not happy, if I don't get my tingles, my butterflies, I'm gonna go. But if you're in a society, a traditional society, Mexican, Indian, Cambodian, Indian, whatever. If you're in one of these societies, you got your parents and your grandparents saying, no, you don't. You just spent 5 years with this girl or guy. We're gonna beat your ass if you try to leave this person. So I mean, the libertarian mindset, the white mindset today is, no one tells me what to do. No one tells me what to do. Government doesn't tell me what to do. My grandparents don't tell me what to do. My parents don't tell me what to do. But ethnic people, they still have that they have that ability to embrace authoritarianism, which whites have lost. And I think that's a bad thing. I think that's a negative thing for white people, that we lost that.
Yeah, we've seen it.
White people are just are a failure of a race now. If you look at all the demographics, you look at all the statistics, you see the overdoses, the suicides. Whites are a complete disaster and failure, and white women are just a meme. White women are just we created monsters out of white women. They're just awful. You look at social media, it's just a meme. White women fuck dogs because they're so enwrapped in their own doings. The white race has failed by embracing this individualism and this bullshit. I see it every fucking day. I don't know.
Also have to consider, like, the media will put a megaphone to these, these "Make America Great Again." Those MAGA type white guys.
Yeah.
So, now women of other ethnicities, if they see a tall white guy, they're usually going to think he's either a racist, a rapist, Trump supporter, part of the alt-right. Like I think Trump was brought in partially to tarnish the reputation of working white men.
Yeah, maybe one or two women out of the pack, but dude, it's like what I see is like, it's what Counselor Guy. Once he brought this up, and I realized women don't really fucking care. They just you see what you just said. She'll see this. She won't see him. He won't be in her view. Her view will be in her smartphone, or she will be with her friends, or she'll be talking to her boyfriend. If you walk in the room as a tall white guy, you just won't be on the fucking radar at all.
Well, that's best case scenario, I think. I think worst case scenario.
I can tell you, by living in the fucking Bay Area for this long, it just, I don't feel like me being a 6'2", white male walking around. I never seen like, oh, dude, it's a Nazi or something. No, I've been basically embraced into. I feel better treated in multicultural friend groups, because that's our white guy. Oh yeah, he knows this language. It's like, oh, that's so cool. It's like they try to include you. Well, when I'm in a white group, it's like everyone's white. It's like but that's just my experience. I'm not saying that's the norm, but that's like really hyperbole that, oh, he's a fucking Nazi. It's like, I don't.
No, I think that is. I think in my experience, in Canada. That's been the truth in bigger urban areas if they don't know you, right? If there's no social circle. Like once you have somebody to give you some sort of, I hate to use the word social proof, and introduce.
Yeah, that's
True. Social proof is a big factor. Yeah.
And then in that case, it's okay. I mean,
yeah, that's
Actually, I concede you on that. That's very true. Because if you, the worst thing you can be in America is a lonely white male. I mean, you're done. You're just fucking done.
that's why, I feel self-conscious sometimes if I'm going to the park by myself and there's families around. I'm usually trying to avoid people.
well, you
I
gotta
realize is that our society is built. Society does not want to see single men. I don't mean that they want to pair people up. They just don't want to see men that aren't attached. They want to. The only reason the only way you get accepted in society now is if you're with a woman or you are a woman. That's I've got that confirmation from friends once they realize is that I got treated way fucking better when I was in a relationship with a female. Anywhere I went, I got better service. I got people talking to me. I got fucking baby boomers asking me about my fucking life. When I'm a single male or I'm in a group of males, it's like, we don't want you here. The service is fucking trash, garbage. You know.
I've had much more positive reaction when I was with a woman.
Yeah.
It's almost a requirement now. Because why? Because rare, and when something becomes more rare, like gold, it becomes more valuable.
Steve mentioned that it's almost like for a guy to have a woman. He's not gonna let over.
Oh, you're talking about
You're
Steve
talking
Hoka?
Yeah, he mentioned it's like a prestige almost for a guy to
I
have
can tell you, it fucking is. It is. Unfortunately, because it's not the common norm anymore. It's not so easy to get one. When it was guaranteed, it wouldn't be. See, when a female's guaranteed, you being a single male doesn't mean much because it's like, hey, whatever, he can get one at any time. But now that it's so hard to get one, it's like a status symbol. You know, it's like having a Rolex watch. It's having a Lambo. It's driving into that fucking loud ass V10 engine through downtown Los Angeles. You know, now having a woman by your side is a status symbol, and that's why you see these things like OnlyFans and all this and compensation dating, which is getting big. It's already big in Japan. Escorts, that's what it's becoming because it's so hard to attain now for the average male that it is a fucking, and it's crazy how much better you get treated in public. I almost feel like I can't participate in the public without being with a female, unfortunately, not because of my emotional sensibilities, but because that's how you can't go to a lot of venues being a single male. You just fucking can't.
Okay, but I mean, honestly, guys, man, and I'm pretty sure that Espeo can attest to this, man. I mean, like, being in a relationship, having a girlfriend, man, it's not the end. Like, it's kind of overrated in a way, man. Like, I mean,
It is.
I'm sure you had girlfriends, right? First,
Yeah.
I mean, like, did it? I mean, sure, it's great. Yeah, you can have sex. I mean, I guess it's nice to have the companionship, man. But at the end of the day, as a man, you find happiness in being productive and chasing your dreams and doing whatever makes you happy. Now, of course, for those TFLers that never had a girlfriend, that are touchless virgins, beyond the age of 40 and stuff. Okay, like for them, I understand. But I mean, being in a relationship really isn't. It's not as it's overhyped, man. I mean, it's. I think that of course, yeah, it's a problem, this TFL thing. But I think if you make women the focus of your life anyway, you're done with. I mean, if you're going,
you're not supposed. See, again, this is where we're losing nuance here. It's not black or white. You're supposed to have your relationship complement your life.
Yeah,
but here's the thing.
I agree.
I can attest to this, and I think other people can attest to this. When I had relationship troubles in college, when I got that second stable relationship, my life flourished because I finally stopped craving one. It became a part of my life, and I become validated. Every day I was validated by a female, and that's what got me through college. If I did not have that, I would have committed suicide a long time ago, unfortunately, and I would not have completed my major or anything, or gotten through college, or gotten my first job or anything, because I had that female validation. It lifted me. It's like a booster. It's like a booster in your productivity. as long as you're in a good one. Yes, there's poor relationships, but I think every guy can benefit. And you look, men were way more productive in relationships, and if the statistics bear out, men who are married are way more productive. They make way more money. But yeah, the problem is that you have a lot of fucking toxic marriages but in a good a guy can become a fucking he can become a I don't know, like an uber like giga soldier, or he can go super sane having a good relationship on his side. I've seen guys that are just in the gutter, but once they got a decent one, they flourish, just like me. That's what kind of got me out of my hole, but unfortunately that does go away, and I feel, but you know.
So you're telling me
I understand what he's saying. I mean, I've seen. Go ahead, Steve.
I mean, are you telling me that you're your best when you have a woman by your side?
Yes, when I have a decent woman, I'm a wing. Well, I'm at my best. I was more creative. Because I don't have that frustration anymore. That I don't have one. Because so much you get judged by not having one. Like even in my male only friends group, it's like whoever has a girlfriend, all this they feel superior. It's sad that that's the way it is, but that's the way it is.
I mean, I don't feel that way at all, but I mean, I guess that's down to the individual.
Well, Steve, I was
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Steve. Well, how old are you, Steve?
No, I was just saying I don't feel that way at all, man. Like that's just not how my life experiences were. I mean, I don't share that opinion, but I can see how many other men would feel that way. Sure.
Steve, have you ever had a job that you were I mean, it was a really cool job. Like it was a job that had a good future, but it might have been implied working a lot of hours. And you're kind of like, oh, I could do this job if I was married, but as a single guy,
exactly.
I don't need to be working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. I could do it if I had.
That's what I'm working now.
Oh, okay. I've had that. I had an apprenticeship job. I was in an apprenticeship to be an electrician, and I was commuting an hour for the job every day, working. Actually, it was 7 days a week. And I was like, dang, I could do this if I was dating a girl at the time, but it wasn't working out. And I was like, I could do it if, it was serious, but, it's just, it ain't worth it if you're single.
Yep.
It ain't worth it.
It ain't. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I see a lot of guys like in the corporate world kind of go through that same epiphany. Luckily, I'm at a corporation that's pretty fucking lax about everything. So, but in a job that I first started out of college, I was super hardcore. I was in a relationship, and that was the one in college that kind of uplifted me. And I got so complacent with that one, I kind of started letting it deteriorate, because it's like once you have something, like you have like food and water, you take it for granted. And I started taking that shit for granted. But then I got my first hardcore corporate job, and like the one weekend, I'm like, oh fuck, like I gotta get back, to maintain my relationship, because to do this shit, I gotta have that by my side, and I couldn't let it fall apart. And I wish I didn't just, I wish I didn't, even though I'm in a better place now, I wish I stayed, because it would have made me realize that I was making a huge mistake later on. So I definitely agree with that, Espeo. I see it so much in the corporate world too.
And this is something that Steve Hoka said too. He said, so many guys have said, oh, you need to just, man up and work harder, and then the relationship will come. But you can't put the cart before the horse. You need to. It's that motivator of being in a relationship with a woman who's on your level. That's what's going to motivate you to work 12 hours a day.
Yeah, exactly.
But without it, a guy's not going to do that. No, he's not going to deal with that. I mean, because most guys don't have. I think Steve, you agree with me. Most guys don't need all the material bullshit that women they don't need. Most guys, they're if you're a single guy, you can be happy. I mean, you got your gaming console, you got your PC, you got your gaming PC, you got Xbox Live, whatever you got, you're good. You're good. But a married guy, okay, now you've added a lot more expenditures to your budget.
The ideal thing would be with a woman who who kind of embraces minimalism. Loyal woman, you know, compatible.
Oh, no, you're not gonna find a woman who embraces minimalism. Okay, you're reaching pretty far there. Yeah, that's not very too common nowadays.
I mean, they exist, but
they're a unicorn, but they do exist, and I've had one, and
they're unicorns. They're unicorns. I had one, but after you have kids, a lot of times it changes once you have your first kid.
Yeah, and these women that are unicorns, they're prone to fucking do a 180, dude. So that's why.
Oh yeah, they would.
A total fucking 180. Dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's
just ask the old guys who just ask the old baby boomers who married these hippie flower power girls in the 70s. They all became materialistic hoes after they got married. So I mean, you may think, oh, I had a minimalist woman who, she milked her own goats for her food, for her milk. I had it, but once that first kid came along, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Those cloth diapers, the hippie girl.
Yeah.
Kind of disappeared after about months. Yeah, but no, I was talking kind of hypothetically and idealistically. I don't know if first you found the same thing because you live in a big metro area like I do. I think people are more trustworthy. They're more apt to trust a guy if he's a girl with him.
Yeah, 1,000,000,000%. That is so fucking true. Dude, like the best thing you can do for your public image is be around a woman. I mean, no matter where I go, what I do is just that.
Yeah, even a lot of presidents have done that. Even a lot of presidents have had trophy wives just to get to the boat.
Yeah,
this is my experience.
You can't be president and be a single guy. What the fuck? Have we had a single guy president?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll give you an example. In sales, in sales or insurance, real estate, like those types of fields. Those fields are so competitive where you got so many agents competing for people's business that superficial things kind of become important, right? If you have two people who are equally competent, you're going to go with the guy, right? Or the trustworthy looking guy. You're not going to go with the guy who looks like Wonderful.
I'm going to go for the guy. Because I'm going to feel like the guy got to his position by his own skills. He got there because he was skilled at his trade. He didn't get there because he was good at putting on makeup. A lot of promotions go to the girl.
Most men don't think like that at all. Most people don't think like that at all. We have the woman is wonderful effect. Read it up. It's a real effect. People are way trusting a woman than men. So women have an edge always in sales and everything.
Oh yeah, but I don't think that's what I go for. If I go for someone to sell my house, I'm gonna go for the guy. Yeah, but most guys and girls are gonna go for the pretty, outward look. But me myself, I'm gonna go for the one who got there by their skills, by their proficiency.
That's why it's a blessing to be born a woman because you're gonna easily do well in sales, easily do well in real estate.
You could just do OnlyFans. You could do OnlyFans. Look how much these girls are making: $5,000 to $10,000 a month for the average.
So Drunk Hulk, let me ask you this, Drunk Hulk. Do you believe? So you support this idea of forced monogamy?
I'm not exactly sure.
No, but do you believe we should live in a world?
We're still trying to introduce him, Steve. We're bringing him slow.
Okay, but I mean, do you believe we should live in a world where, arranged marriages should happen and women's rights?
It's not arranged, dude. Oh my God, it's not necessarily arranged. Again, the straw man. Jesus.
I'm sorry, it wasn't an assumption.
It's limiting the animalistic nature of human beings, just like we limit murder.
I got it.
Just like we're gonna limit polygamy. That's all we're doing. We're not forcing you to go marry this woman XYZ. That's just it's a misnomer that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to
limiting biological nature.
Yes, exactly. Not eliminating.
Yeah, I mean
limiting, not eliminating.
From India, the coworker I had from India, he was a pharmacist. Okay, and then his parents in India gave him options of good girls from good families to marry. It's not like they forced him. Oh, you have to. No. He's a free guy. He lives in America. He's a free guy, but they give him options. They say, hey, we like this girl. We like this girl. Come back to India. Come meet some of these women, and we'll set you up with them.
Yeah, I understand. I don't know, man. I just think freedom is way too important, man. Like, even if it means
not for males, yeah. For females, it's a different brain. It's a different. They don't value. Females don't value freedom. Females really don't value fucking freedom because they don't prosper under it. They prosper by being part of a herd. They have a herd behavior. I mean, this is common anywhere. So that's the thing is we got to separate the female and male sex. It's different. For males, yeah, freedom is. I mean, males are the pioneers. Males are the guys who go against the grain. That's true. They work very effectively. But the problem is they're attached to women, and women have a totally different brain structure. They have a totally different sexual strategy out there. So it just doesn't the same. There's got to be rules for each gender. Unfortunately,
women are not going to like a man be negative. You tell a woman you're minimalist, she's gonna.
That's not good.
Oh no! If you're minimalist, they can tell by the car you drive if you're minimalist or not.
Yeah.
If it was like used Lexus from 2007, 2008.
No, Lexus is not bad, but I mean, you pull up to the date with a Saturn. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I drive an older luxury car, and women constantly think it's like a newer one, but that's just because women they can't differentiate between. I mean, it's
you don't need that much of a good car. Like women, they don't know the pricing on cars. You could have a total car they think is high priced, but it's like, hey, used.
Yeah, of course. No, you can have you can have like an early 2000 model S-Class Mercedes and for $6,000, and women will think it's like the greatest thing ever. Yeah.
Just keep your shit clean. Keep your car clean. Don't have a bunch of Taco Bell wrappers in the passenger seat, and you're halfway there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty much what I do. But I mean, it works. But anyway, I mean,
car game has always helped me for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, this is the first time that I've ever heard these like your opinions first, and I mean, like, it's. I mean, you're definitely serious about it since you're gonna release this documentary. I mean, I wish you good luck with it, and I hope it makes an impact. But like, honestly, I gotta be real. I gotta be real honest with you. I think the chances of a libertarian society coming into existence, at least to a limited degree, is more likely than this ever happening in our lifetime, man. I mean, we're too far gone. The problem is we're too far gone, man. Like, women are out of control. I see. That's the thing. I do agree with you guys.
We're too far gone then I use that same exact argument that you're using. We're too far gone for a libertarian society. Exactly. See, I'm putting the effort. I'm believing my message, and my message is backed up by so many sources. It's just ridiculous that I'm putting the effort, I'm putting the money where my fucking mouth is, and I'm putting this out. While most people, I mean, just your channel, it's like, is there a high quality 1 hour 30-minute documentary? Not to disparage, but it's like, how believe in your message. I'm willing to sacrifice my time. I already have an 80-hour work week, 80 to 100-hour work week, but I'm still fucking doing this like shit, half asleep, putting the fucking hours, because I've seen so much pain in result of this, and I see that this is the major fucking issue for a male. Males can succeed in almost any society as long as they have a loyal female by their side. But that is really dictated by how the society is structured in the first place.
I was going to say, as far as the enforced monogamy thing goes, my understanding of it's not very good, so it's a little out of my wheelhouse. Well, for now, until I look into it more. But say first, I think you mentioned one time about kind of approaching or lobbying, testing dating apps under the guise that there's for women, and that predators will try to take advantage of them through getting rid of these gender and stuff like that. It'll help. More in the favor of.
Yeah, they got to be regulated like anything else.
You could say they're dangerous, that is
Drunk Hulk, you keep cutting out the whole time.
Yeah, your audio is dog shit. Dude.
Well, the thing is you got to realize your grandparents got together. I mean, well, even before that, your great grandparents, whatever, they got together because they were only limited to seeing a certain amount of people per day in their regular life. Most of your grandmothers didn't work; they were at home. Okay, they didn't see that many people. All right, now with online dating and stuff, you got so hundreds of you got women who are able to talk to hundreds of men per day. Okay, and that it just does not add up to a monogamous society.
But first, I think that the first step towards fixing this would definitely be to address social media and the interconnectiveness of our world. And I think
okay, but that contradicts with the libertarian mindset.
Though. No. It doesn't.
How is that libertarian?
It doesn't, because decentralization is the answer first and foremost.
Yeah. But I mean,
social media would be out.
Yeah, but that contradicts libertarianism, because they're like, okay, you can't have government coming in, stepping in, and saying, hey, you can't do it, you can't have this site.
I'm talking about
social media usage is voluntary. That's the thing. It does fall under the libertarian structure, because it is I don't have to have it.
No, but what I'm trying to say,
it's a bonus to have it.
Look, I'm meeting more and more people. Obviously, these are people like in their 30s and 40s even. The common consensus is basically that they're fed up with social media. They're fed up with how it's taken over their lives. They can see the superficiality in it. I think it's really younger generations that are obviously into this. And yeah, of course, the social media is enabling things like OnlyFans, and it's enabling women to be more promiscuous. But I think, I honestly and truly believe that this is really just a temporary thing. I think in 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, I don't think social media will be a thing the way it is now, because look, everything has its life cycle. Everything dies out after a while. I mean, first it was MySpace, then it was Facebook. Like, people are understanding how ridiculous this world is, and how it's...
Yeah, but Steve, you're unable to take the leap and say that, okay, maybe it's time for society to step in and say, okay, hey, this shit is not good for you. This online dating shit, maybe you're unable to take the step and say, maybe it's okay for our elders or our king or whoever, I don't know, whatever you have, your church or whatever, to say, hey, you cannot do this. I mean, because I probably would have been happy in a stable marriage if I had not taken the step to online dating. If I had not got into that, if I had got with who my parents and my grandparents thought I was better with, I might have had a happy life with 4 or 5 kids, stable. I might still be married today, but no, because I'm in my 20s, my hormones are raging. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna date this hot chick. I'm gonna date the hot chick. Yeah. So
I made that exact mistake too. I would have been better off if I was in forced monogamy with my first sex or something. That would have been the best.
So
I understand.
I think Steve, you don't understand that. In our 20s, maybe it's better if we do have an authoritarian system where our church, our elders, our parents, our grandparents, someone steps in and say, hey, you're 20 years old, your hormones are raging. It's better for society if you do not engage in these online dating apps.
Here's what I agree with Steve. I agree with Steve that the government cannot be a replacement for the family structure that enables this. See, when we talk about enforced monogamy, government has to have zero to do with it. It has to come from the family and your local structure. It has to come organically almost.
Right,
It has to have zero touch. Mm-hmm. Government has to be laissez-faire with it. It cannot touch. So we're agreement in that. What we're talking about is to re-empower the family again. And the problem, the government is a problem towards TFL. It's for sure, because it enables single motherhood.
Okay. Yeah, I'm when I say authoritarianism, I'm not necessarily saying it's from a government, a king.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying it might be from family. It might be from. But I mean, I think society needs some kind of control. Do you see what I'm saying, Steve? It needs some kind of control to say, hey, this is not good for society. This is creating a society that is not going to have a high birth rate. Okay, this is not going to create a society. I mean, Germany had the same kind of issues after World War One. I mean, people weren't reproducing. People weren't. And so you had a leader come in who said, "Hey, we're going to flip this around. He got marriages back going. He
Weimar
got
Republic had 100,000 prostitutes on the streets of Berlin. 100,000. It was like the OnlyFans, but in real life, because you had prostitutions of every different type. They differentiated themselves to apply to niche markets. I mean, there was a good on nuclear red fields. He had a good clip of it. It was crazy. The Weimar Republic was crazy, and fascism had to step in to save that society.
Yeah. But these TFL channels like Bill Greathouse, they banned Nuclear Redfield. They banned him from Bill's channel. So I mean, the only historical references we have that have solved TFL. I mean, these TFL guys like Bill Greathouse, they don't want they ban him from the chat. The only responses that have worked historically, not libertarianism. Libertarianism has not worked. Libertarianism has only made it worse. Libertarianism, okay, all right, everyone, no one tells anyone what to do. You know, you just date whoever you want. You know, have fun, enjoy your life. You know, do what thou wilt. This has not worked. This
Yeah, but
has not
Espio,
built a strong society.
if there wasn't a government, there wouldn't be a government for women to marry. I mean, you know how people always say, yeah, women are married to the government, right? Because they can rely on everything. They can rely on basically being subsidized by the government. Well, if there wasn't a government, they wouldn't be able to be subsidized by a government. Then they would naturally turn to men.
That's a fair point. I mean, a lot of people have said, like, you know, a lot of the conspiracy theorists have said that, okay, oh, there's a COVID thing happening. Women are going to start dating again. Women are going to start going on there playing fish and start messaging all these nerdy guys. But I haven't seen it happen yet, Steve. I haven't seen, and I'm not talking to just you. I'm talking to Steve Hogan too. Steve
Well, I
Hogan
never
all
said
this
that.
stuff.
So
Me and Espio agree 100% with what you just said. I mean, that's I do agree that when women are they're kind of empowered by the central government. That is so true. And I told you from the beginning, I'm in 100% agreement with limiting the central government, almost eliminating it. So I do.
Oh, really?
I do
Okay.
agree with some concepts. Yeah, I said that from the beginning, that the central government that we have right now is a problem. It is causing TFL. It is a factor in TFL. It's not the main factor, but it's one of the top three, I'd say. Because again, the whole structure of a single motherhood is, you see, in the black population, what do we have? We have this. They were the first woman to be empowered under this new system by Richard Nixon, and to have this Democrat vote all the time, and that they empowered single motherhood. And they've noticed that over the years, like the percent of black males that reproduce is like 40%. So while for black females it's like 95%. So again, we're going back to that structure of what we had in the past, of one male reproducing for every 17 females, and that's what we're slowly going to without enforced monogamy. We're slowly going back to that initial agrarian divide.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Well, I mean,
so yes, the central government we have it enables TFL to occur. It is very true, and both me and Espio do agree to that point. I think I don't think we see, that's the problem with the manosphere, is we agree with like 99%, but we're bickering on this 1% details we don't fucking agree, and all the effort is wasted there. All the connections are cut, and that's what I want to do. I want to unite, because we all agree that right now things are bad, worse than bad, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Whether it's MGTOW, whether it's TFL, whether it's MGTOW Monk, all of these groups have an agreement that the dating market is messed up, big time. Yep. We can't debate that. That's ubiquitous in the manosphere. Is that the dating market is messed up?
I'm focusing on how do we unite everybody to tackle the main issue.
Yeah, and the POAs, like the MGTOW attack the POAs. Oh, you know, you're simping, bro. I mean, the POAs are doing what they want to do. I mean, leave them alone. The MGTOW monks, they've had their experiences with women. They're scared off by women. They want to go their own way. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. You know, the TFL, they've had their experience, or a lack of experience, I should say, a lack of experiences. You know, so you don't hate on them either. I mean, all the TFL, the POAs, the MGTOW monk, all these guys, they got to get together. They got to start, like, you know, going to battle with each other and just start agreeing on one thing: is that the dating market's fun.
I mean, I still believe
that's
that.
The crux of it.
Yeah,
that's the crux of it.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think this was a really good conversation. I mean, it definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things. I mean, I just had no idea that you, especially you, Espio, that you actually believed this. But I mean, after hearing all this, I mean, yeah,
Believe what?
Well, the enforced monogamy type part. I mean, like, it's just.
Well, I talked about fascism on my channel. I've talked about that kind of stuff on my channel. I talked about Bill Greathouse that we need some kind of authority to step in and say, hey, this makes a healthy society. We can either do this or we can die out as a people. So I talked about that before.
I just don't see how government can be the answer because, look, even if
it's not the answer.
Even
we never prescribed that as the answer.
No, I understand
it's
that,
not the ultimate answer at all.
I understand that control does work, but it is only temporary. I mean, all societies have risen and fallen throughout all of mankind. The Roman Empire, even if we look at it on a macroeconomic level, I mean, it's society is constantly changing, because it's like a trial and error thing. It's like we see if this works for a while, and then okay, no, that doesn't work. Now, the whole duopoly, first we have a Republican president, then a Democrat. It always switches. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is that this enforced monogamy through government control, that will work for a certain period of time, but at the end of the day, you can only control women for so long.
Yeah, but Steve, why is that? Why is it fall? Why is it has to fall at a certain point? Or what happens? I mean, the society becomes spoiled.
I don't know. I think that after 50 years, women are going to start reading about.
Good times create weak men. Weak men create bad times. Bad times.
Exactly. Spoiled. Yeah. It's same thing with the kingship. You have a king step in. That king is a hard man. Most kings in European history came out of battle. He was the best warrior on the battlefield. He stood up for his people. Okay. His son, okay, he gets a little weak, he gets a little softer, and then after 3 or 4 generations, that king becomes a softie, okay, and then he takes the revolution to take him out.
Hello?
I mean,
right.
Some of the right to vote.
I think Espio's cutting out here.
And I gotta say, this time it is different because because of online dating, mainly, as you see in the documentary, we finally have the data for the first fucking time to prove this shit on a massive fucking scale. We have the numbers on everybody. I'm talking about sample size of 2 million, 500,000. This is huge. It's undeniable. So for the first time, we unveiled what female nature is. We know what it is and working in the background. We can tally up the numbers. We can see how they swipe. We can see what they say, how they say, what they do. We couldn't do this in the past. In the past, we only had theories. We only had these neoclassical or these in the Renaissance. We had these people that had theories on human nature. But now we get to tally up human nature. We get to see what it is.
Yeah, first I don't want to spoil what the findings are, but I would guess it's not too much different than you find on the prairie. Or you find in the lion pride on the savannah. I would guess it's not much different.
It's much worse. It's much worse. It's
shit.
Worse. It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm an extreme pessimist, and even as we continue, I'm surprised at how fucking bad it is. That's the thing. Everybody knows it's bad, but they don't know how bad it is. Once you know how bad it is, it becomes too outrageous to accept. People can accept a little bad things. People can live in a town that's being bombarded and shelled. A couple people died there. When it's this bad, when it's fucking genocide, nah, it just becomes unstable to accept it. It becomes impossible to accept, and that's what I'm trying to do, because the data is out there. I just needed to compile it.
Man, I'm excited for it. Subscribe to Incelmatics. Let's see, within 1 to 2 weeks, probably, huh?
I
1 to 2 weeks.
Exhaustion. Yeah, 1 or 2 weeks.
Man,
I'll definitely be watching it.
It makes the lion's pride in the savannah look like looks like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or Sesame Street. It makes it look like Sesame Street.
It's crazy. It's crazy what happens when the human is really the kind of like given to do what the fuck they want. It's pretty crazy to see it. We become the most vicious predator. We in nature, the most vicious predator was the human, the most effective one.
Yeah. Well, television likes to focus. The news likes to focus on the male aggression, the male nature, the negative male, the unhinged male nature, uninhibited by societal control, but doesn't like to focus on the female. Because the female is more indirect. It's more an indirect kind of.
Exactly. It's not. Oh, that's why we're so uneducated on. That's why we're so. That's why we're having the struggles, because we've never had this information before. We are the first generation to have this info. These studies that I'm referencing are 2018, 2019, dude. This is new fucking shit. It's not referencing some old bullshit that's no longer. This is what we're living in 2020. Not the emotions that we had in the past.
Yeah. Now, that's one thing that we gotta keep in mind, is because Steve, I'm in my mid-30s, as you know. Like, I kind of look at this. I talk about 80-20 rule, but a lot of these MGTOW are talking about it's 90-10 right now.
Yeah,
it's like a 90-10 rule.
It's actually, if you do want to do online dating, it's 99.9 to 0.01.
No.
It's so fucking
I don't know if you heard what I was saying earlier, but if a guy gets on online dating, he's kind of like, he's leveraging his assets, like kind of like he's like selling a clearance at Marshalls or TJ Maxx. He's trying to sell what he has off on the clearance rack. Okay, he's not. I mean, most people in human history, they dated and their family set them up, or they met in high school.
Your
they met
parents
some.
did not use this shit. Your grandparents did not use this shit. Nobody. There is no success to be had from online dating. If you look at it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend any guy going online dating unless he's just doing it for fun. If you got thick skin, you're hanging out for fun, you're just gonna chat while you're having a beer, do it, but don't take it to heart. Don't feel like that's what
here's the problem. Most men can't do that. Most men are looking for love, because that's what drives the men. And men are looking for love for a thing that's a joke, a thing that's made for homosexuals. All these swipey apps are made off Grindr, made in 2009. Tinder came out in 2012. It emulated Grindr 100%. That's for homosexuals to meet up. It's not for heterosexuals. It doesn't fucking work. And the evidence is there. It doesn't fucking work. Here's the thing. If you're a guy and you have to resort to online dating, it's over for you. That's the number one definitive conclusion of the 21st century. If I look at a guy and he tells me that he has to resort to online dating, I can tell him, you're most likely not going to get married. You're not going to, if you do somehow get fucking married, that's not going to be stable. You're going to get divorced. You're not going to have a stable long-term relationship. You're not going to have kids of your own. I can make those conclusions based on the data I see.
No, the guys in their 30s who meet a girl online dating, they're making like 60, 70,000. They have a good job. They work out. They got a good. I mean, they're decent guys, and they're dating a girl who's cashier, or she's a waitress. She's a single mom with kids from some other guy. These are the kind of women that guys wipe up on online dating.
Yeah, it's disastrous. You're not dating bottom of the barrel. You're dating the dirt underneath the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. Online dating is for fun. It's not to meet someone. It's something to just pass the time.
Men use it, unfortunately, men are the ones who try to look for love, and they try. I've read this from some psychologist. He said that men are the ones they're fools looking for love, like on these online dating sites, which don't give love. They're not made for that. They're not made for that at all.
No, and this is something that Plato. I think it was Plato talked about, that
is unique to the male. Okay, and he was straight. He wasn't homosexual. But what Plato was talking about is that female love is like, what can you do for me? What can you do for me right now? What can you do for me in the future? I don't care. I don't give a shit what you did for me in the past. But what can you do for me now? What can you do for me in the future? That's female love. I mean, I don't. I mean, the ancient Greeks knew more about the human relationships than we do now. We're just figuring this out now.
Exactly. Because we're in a new time. We're in an unknown. We're in a wild west of that stuff. We've decentralized everything in terms of that, and we don't know what the fuck's going on. But we're starting to. Our data is coming out, and it's not pretty.
Yep. Hey, well, guys, man, listen, it's getting late over here in Texas, man. You guys are like 2 hours ahead of me, I think. So, or I'm 2 hours ahead. So, hey, but listen, I thought this was a really good conversation, man. Definitely, it was nice meeting you first. Like for the first, I think it was the first live stream we were in. So, but I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to the documentary. Like, listen, just to conclude everything, like, I'm open to what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from. I get it, man. I really, really do. I mean, I think the end result that you're trying to get to, I mean, that's going to be a tough road, man. But I mean, this incel TFL thing, it can't go on like this. I mean, I know that there are a lot of guys frustrated out there, hurting.
Exactly. That's the key. It cannot go on. It cannot go on. It's too much. That's what. It was okay when it was bearable when it was 10-20%. But what I'm seeing now, it's becoming the main issue of males coming up. It's getting so fucking bad that if society wants to continue, you're gonna get ready for the riots you see to be every fucking day of your entire lives, because that's where we're gonna go. We're already seeing the effects. Turn on the fucking TV. That is the effects.
Hey, can you guys hear me? I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
At first, one more question. How old are you?
I'm 24.
24. Oh, damn, you're young. Okay. Or relatively young. I mean, all right. Well, damn. Okay, guys, this was really interesting, man. I don't know. I'll probably be on this weekend sometime, or I don't know. I'll see, man. But
thanks, Steve. We appreciate your show. I think it was a good show. We got what is it? 3 hours? Where are we at now?
Yeah, a little over 3 hours, I think.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having us, King Espeo on.
4 hours. Okay, damn.
Show. I think you're a good host. I'm gonna direct more people to your show. I think you're a good host. I mean, you got your opinions, but you kind of let other people talk. Like you let first and I talk, even though we kind of are diametrically opposed to you. But so I think you're a good host, and I hope
you're intellectually honest. That's for sure.
Oh, of course, man. You got to be, of course, man. But like I said, I understand where you guys are coming from too. Of course, man. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys have a great weekend. All right. We'll keep in touch.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Bye.
Later. Bye.
Hey, remember to end the stream this time, Steve.
I am. I'm doing it right now.
Stream on there. Okay.